and welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm joined all the way from Switzerland, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Patrick Tuor.
Hey, Giles.
How you doing? So actually, can you put a little bit more volume just so I can hear it? Right, okay, Patrick, I want to get you on, mate, because obviously it's we've got the Arnold Classic next week. Obviously, you've got, a big name going in. I just want to get your predictions. I want to get your kind of, on how you feel it's going to go down. Because at the end of the day, apart from Ramy and Brandon, and Hadi, we've pretty much got the full Olympia lineup. So what's your feelings on first with it being so close to the Olympia, and how do you think it's going to go down?
Well, first of all, I think I kind of like it this way, close to the Olympia. It builds up momentum for the show, for the Olympia. Obviously, you don't have three heavy hitters. Basically, the top three are not there. But still, it kind of mixes things up for all the guys who want to be in that first call out. And I think it's exciting. It's like a build-up for the Olympia. Guys are in shape. Guys, they are ready. So it's kind of good to have it this close. But personally, I would prefer it like maybe 2 weeks after the Olympia to have like kind of a rematch going.
Okay.
More than before. I think if you had like Olympia and 2 weeks later you had Arnold, that would make it very interesting because, sometimes people can like tweak things, better some things, which is going to happen also for, some guys from the Arnold going into the Olympia, obviously. But I find it super exciting. I like it this way. I'm glad it's not in March, but it's so close to the Olympia. You just do one prep. You don't have to put your body through two preps during the season, and I feel that's to advantage to most of the guys. So
do you think it adds excitement to the Olympia, having a big show like this with all the big names? Because, I mean, if this was a different show, I don't think these guys would probably be turning up. It's because it's an invitational, because of the prize money, because of the prestige that this is the original classic, since 1989. I mean, personally, I'm kind of glad that we've got an Arnold Classic this year, but obviously I think it's spoiling a little bit of the surprise for the Olympia. So
no, I don't agree with that because it builds up. It builds up for the Olympia. Every show is judged from what you're on stage. So no matter what happens at the Arnold, it's all from scratch 2 weeks later at the Olympia. So it's actually just a good warm-up match for a lot of these guys who are very, very close. Those guys who are fighting for that first call out. And I think they'll get a measure of where they stand. And it's just an opportunity to kind of tweak things again, get some more motivation going for those 2 weeks into the Olympia. And for fans, it's just awesome. You have the biggest shows of the year back to back. You don't have to wait 6 months or 5 months for it.
Yeah.
And again, it's one prep. It's for those top level guys doing a prep in March and then kind of cooling things down. We ramp it back up for the Olympia. It's not easy. It's not easy. So I like it this way.
I'm gonna change my mind because I was gonna leave Ian Valier, your athlete. I was gonna leave him to the very last. But I'll be honest, the two guys. Normally, I'm pretty good with my predictions. I can pretty much they kind of line up in my head, in order, pretty much based upon what I know and how I feel. But the two guys I have I don't know where to place them. Is Ian Valier and Nick Walker. What's your feelings on, say, let's talk about Nick first. Where do you think he's going to fall in the mix?
Well, obviously, Nick is somebody who is going to fight for at least a top 5 spot, if not a top 3 spot. He is extremely muscular. He is always in great condition. So it's just a matter of how he matches up against, bigger names, which he has not really stood next to right now. So also how he manages his nerves, maybe, he has a little less experience than everybody else, and at that level it plays a role. But for sure, he's a candidate to be in that first call out and be in that top 5. Absolutely.
I mean, there's people that think he can win the Arnold and he can win the Olympia. I think personally, I think that's a bit of a stretch. No disrespect, of course, but because I think he's amazing.
Yeah. We're just talking technical. Look, I'm personally not the biggest fan of his physique, but respect to the amount of muscle size, muscularity, and condition he brings. And it's a bodybuilding show. So I still think that he's kind of lacking a little bit of his quad development. He has this imbalance between left and right quad, which in my opinion, to an experienced judge is something, that should, fall into place. If he catches up his quads to his extremely wide upper body and muscular upper body frame, then I think we will talk a different language right now. But as for right now, I don't think he is just complete enough because of the structure that he has. He has this, blockier structure, and he's a smaller guy. So I don't think he's just there yet, but he's very, very dangerous, absolutely.
Thing is, even if you said top 5, possibly even top 3, if he makes top 5, he's going to be rubbing out some really big names. I mean, you've got like Steve Kuklo, you've got Akeem Williams, who people think could win the Olympia this year. You've got the defending champion William Bonac. You've got Sergio Oliva. I mean, there is some, Ian Valliere. I mean, there's some really Rulli. You've got huge names. So he's really going to have to step over some guys who he's not even gone up against yet if he wants to make top 5.
I mean, that's for everybody. This is probably the most stacked and balanced lineup that we have had in, I don't know, actually, I don't remember a show being this balanced. You have some shows where you maybe have 1 or 2 guys who are a little bit the front runner and then kind of slacks off going back. But here, you have obviously you have Bonac, which he is a 2-time winner. He is a, top 2 Olympian. He's somebody who you always have to count for that, first place, obviously. But I would say just on a record, on a past competition basis, he is probably the favorite. You have to give him that. After that, I think it's just wide open. You can take any of the name that you mentioned, and if that day they're capable of beating somebody else. Also because you have such an array of different type of physiques, which makes it even more spectacular. You have Akeem is special in his own because he's so big, but he has great structure and lines. You have a Nick, which is smaller but just freakish muscular. You have Sergio, which again is a beautiful physique. Maybe lacks a little bit of that freakiness, but balances out with just incredible flow. You have Steve Kuklo, which is probably the most complete guy up there from head to toe, no missing body parts, great presentation. Again, they're all different. It's really, it comes down to how conditioned they are, how they bring their absolute best. And then it's just like an apple and oranges game. You really start to nitpicking at things. And I think a judge, if everybody's on, can tell 10 different stories to why somebody should beat somebody else. So it's going to be very interesting to see what type of line they're going to follow. What are they going to look at? Because everybody is so different. I mean, we even forgot Justin Rodriguez.
Yes.
I mean, the guy is spectacular.
Love his physique.
Again, all those guys, are true awesome bodybuilders. And it really comes down to what the judges want to see on that day. I think what will influence the judges a lot is when they start picking that first place, when they have in mind, okay, this is kind of who we got in the first place. I think everybody else kind of will fall into that reasoning, because you have to kind of set a thinking standard to where you want people to fall. But it's so open, open.
Did you see the guest posing by William Bonac 2 weeks out?
Yes, I did see it. Yeah.
What was your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's 2 weeks out. You can say a lot and you can say nothing. I don't judge an athlete who has to step on stage 2 weeks before, nor negatively nor positively. I was not impressed by what I saw.
Really?
Because again, no.
Wow.
It's William Bonac. It's second place Mr. Olympia. I still see that imbalance in his left leg.
Okay.
You can see his left leg is smaller. He had some issues with his nipples that he didn't have before, which I saw.
Okay.
And
I didn't spot that. I saw only like a few pictures. Did you see video or photos?
A video.
Oh, you saw video? Because I've seen 4 photos, and to me, he looked like basically bang on for where, and because he's so consistent. I kind of thought, okay, I think he's, this is exactly what we expect from William Bonac. Yeah,
again, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying, it's what we expect, like you say, from William Bonac. But again, I'm not seeing that same William Bonac that we saw maybe 2 or 3 years ago, especially 2 years ago.
Okay.
But then again, it's 2 weeks out, and everything can happen in 2 weeks. I mean, even athletes that I coach, sometimes you look at them 2 weeks out, and if you don't know what's going on in their prep, you'll be like, oh, he's not on, or he's off, or it just really depends where he stands on that day. But I didn't see fireworks, if that's, kind of where we want to go at. I didn't see something super spectacular. I didn't see something unbeatable. Let's put it that way.
Oh, really? Okay, because I've got it in my head that he's just going to win this. I've got to kind of, it's like you said, it's a battle for second. I think everyone's fighting it for 2 to 6, and I keep changing my mind all the time of who will be second, third, fourth. I mean, literally, it's that, you've got all the established names, and then you've got, like Ian moving up, and you've got the Nick Walkers, and like you said, Justin Rodriguez, there's another really underrated guy that really could, who's really starting to hit his stride now. I remember seeing him at the Arnold Classic in 2018, he took 7th. And I was just like, watch out for this guy, and look how he's come on, and he's won the Indy Pro. And so who do you see as the dark horse then for this one?
Well, I don't know if you can call him a dark horse, because, or if there is any dark horse, because everybody's talking pretty much, if you put like a percentage wise, I think everybody has like, there's, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys who can, 7 guys who can win it. I think everybody has like between 10 and 15% chance to win it. I don't think there's somebody who has really showed something to scare us, or to make us think, yeah, this is going to be like a dark horse. I don't see dark horses, because everybody, socials just tell us pretty much what's going on. You get some kind of idea of where the guys are. I don't know if I'm biased, but I really like Ian's chances. I mean, I probably have to, because obviously we work together. But I really like what I see, and I would put my money on Ian to surprise people. He just gets better. From Tampa to Texas, and from Texas to now, you'll just see a more polished bodybuilder.
I remember you sent me the pictures or the video of Ian for Tampa, and you said he was 260 in the morning. And was he a couple of pounds lighter for Texas?
Yeah, he was like, I think probably 5 pounds lighter in Texas. Yeah.
Okay, because he and I think that was an even better look for him. So we've seen the pictures. I mean, his condition is, basically what I'm asking is, are we going to see an even better version than, say, that he was night show at Texas?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I just seen, his condition update this morning, and everything. I mean, Giles, it's not like you can make so much drastic improvements once you reach that level, but it's about small things. It's about that condition, which is just spot on from head to toe, front to back. Everything is just polished. His hams, his glutes, his back. And we're going to see, again, a little improvement in muscularity, especially his back shots. They are just more muscular. He's not losing ground. His front upper bicep also, which was one of his work poses, he just flows much better. First of all, from the way he's hitting, and second, because he's had this little more density in his upper chest. So he's just overall a better bodybuilder.
It was such a huge gamble when you told me, you both had you on Global Muscle a few weeks ago, and you both said that you were doing Texas. I was like, I'm not sure that's a good idea. I think if you've got a win, and a big win like Tampa, shut it down and go to Olympia. But, you took the gamble, it paid off, and, I think a lot of I think the two names that I think we're expecting is Akeem and Ian. They're the ones that, if they really nail it, that they're going to be stepping over some of the more established, even more established, bigger names, like say the Ruleys and the of course Cedric Millen's out now, isn't he? But even the Bonacs and the and the other guys. So what's your feelings on Ruley then? Because I saw him in Alicante and he was markedly better. I mean, dramatically better than he was in Chicago. So what's your feelings?
Well, first of all, I have to say I've always been an extremely Rolly fan. I mean,
me too.
Just as a person and as a bodybuilder, the guy is just an awesome human being. And so I just can't force myself to think negative. I just can't, because I just love him. I think with these, few more weeks that he's had, he will for sure add a little more density, fullness to his body. He has done it for Spain, so there's absolutely no reason he won't do it for the honor. I don't know if he's going to be able to bring all of it back, and I think that's the main problem, is because as a top level pro, you're not only compared to who's standing next to you, but the expectations that judges have from you. They have seen you a lot of times, so they have this picture in mind of who you are or who you should be on stage. And when you come out and you don't represent that, that level which you're expected to be at, I think you get penalized more than simply being looked at and compared to the guys next to you. So I think that's something Rolly will have to fight against, is not being the Rolly we're used to. And judges just it's human. I did it myself when I saw him. You just have this different perception of the athlete, which you don't just compare to the others, but you compare to who you should be.
I'm hope, because I saw the difference in 3 weeks between Chicago and Alicante, and if it's actually possible for him to do that again, I think we're going to see the Rulli we've kind of 2018 Rulli, when he was third at the Olympia and he won the Prague, So I'm fingers crossed. Plus, he's never really, when the Arnold was in March, he never really brought his actual A game to the Arnold. He never really brought his best. He always brought it to the Arnold Australia or to the Olympia or to Prague or one of the shows afterwards. He always kind of got it together. He kind of learned what he needed to do. So, okay, because I know your time is very precious. You've got to go in a few minutes. Do you want to give us your top 5 then? Do you want to commit to that?
Yeah. Okay. My top 5 will be Ian first, Bonac third, Akeem second.
Wow.
Kuklo fourth, Nick fifth, Sergio sixth, and Justin seventh.
Okay, who have we missed out?
I just got my top 7 here.
Okay. Now I'm just trying to think. Again, sorry, say that again.
Ian first, Akeem second, Bonac third, Kuklo fourth, Nick Walker fifth, Sergio Oliva sixth, and Justin Rodriguez seventh.
Where would you have Rulli?
He could step in there, but as to for right now, I don't see him beating nor Justin nor Sergio from what I saw in Spain.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah. That's the thing is, that's it. When it's one of these shows where it's hard to not have 6 guys in your top 3 or have 10 guys in your top 6 because they're all such big names and there's so many guys coming up as well.
You could take Justin and put him in third and nobody can argue. You could take Sergio Oliva and say he'll win or be second. Yeah. And it's absolutely possible. So it's just gut feeling, and it's just you can't be really predicting something because it's such an open race. So
Ian aside, who do you think in your gut feeling has got the potential to really shock and move up?
Akeem Williams.
Akeem, right, yeah.
If he's in condition, Akeem Williams is a freak.
Do you think he can do what Ramy did from 2018 to 2020?
I don't think so, simply for the fact that his back will never, in my mind, be polished and lean enough. But if you would take back out of the equation and make that back lean, then absolutely yes. But I just don't think he has. It's not a prep thing or diet thing. It's just genetics. It's just, some people don't get their glutes striated. Some people don't get certain body parts maybe to grow. And Akeem, he can diet and suck himself down as much as you want, but once he does that rear double bicep, it's just the way his muscle and skin is there.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Sorry, where did you have Nick?
I have Nick. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Battling it out with Steve Kuklo for 4th and 5th. Okay. Yeah. I think that's kind of where I'm kind of thinking as well.
But I mean, like I said, on my top three, I mean, I could probably change my mind by tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
I think Akeem, Ian, and William Bonac. I think that's a potential top three there.
That's my top three right there. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Right, okay then, mate. I will let you go, and thank you so much for giving us your expert opinion and your kind of your feelings on where you feel who will place who at the Arnold Classic. And yeah, we've got a few exciting few weeks coming up, haven't we? With all these big shows, and I bet you're very busy.
Oh yeah, my stomach is is all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also for James doing the Olympia and everything. So yeah.
Oh, James!
It's super exciting.
James Hollands head, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he will be a lot better than people think.
Yeah, I think he's been working because obviously he qualified early by qualifying right after the Olympia in Alicante last year. So of course he's gone to ground, and he's been working hard all year, hasn't he?
Yeah, and what people don't realize, he's 6 feet tall, and he has a lot of dense, round, conditioned muscle, and he exposes people once he steps next to him. He's not somebody who, when he comes out, just flashes you because of his lines and structure. But once he starts posing, and you'll see how much three-dimensional muscle he carries. The Olympia, they work people, they compare people, they move people up and down. And I'm expecting James to come out and maybe not immediately get the look that he maybe wants, but then once they start really working him and comparing him, he will move up, and he'll be competitive.
God, so here we are already talking about the Olympia, and we're literally the Arnold Classics next week, and then the Arnold UK, and then there's all the post-Olympia shows in Rome and Romania and Alicante, and it's I think we're going to be spoilt as bodybuilding fans this next 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh yeah. It's fireworks. It's on now.
Yeah, and your beard's going to be like 10 foot long by the next time I speak to you.
Oh, I'm not going to shave it again. No way, man.
Right. Okay then, Patrick. Thank you so much for your opinions, and as always, and it's always great to catch up, mate. And I'll speak to you very, very soon.
Thank you for having me, Giles, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Patrick.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm joined all the way from, I think it's Texas.
That's right.
Michael Bryson from Instagram page, This is Bodybuilding.
How's it going, Giles?
Well, I think in the interests of full transparency, I'd like to say this is actually our second time filming with yourself, your good self. Because in the interests of complete self-humiliation and honesty, we actually did a 35-minute interview the other week.
Something like that, yes.
And it was brilliant, and there was loads of action and loads of explosions. And somebody deleted it, and I can't tell it was it was actually myself, because I was actually clearing space on the hard drive, and I accidentally deleted. I'm so sorry, but you're here now.
That's all right.
Oh, man, so I thought I'd best get that out the way, because I felt awful, mate. I really did.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's fine. Things happen.
Right, so you're Michael Bryson. You run the very, very popular Instagram page, This is Bodybuilding. Do you want to quickly tell us about it?
Yeah, so I started it, I guess, in about 2013, 2014, thereabouts. Just writing about bodybuilding, the history of bodybuilding, what's going on now, and trying to pick who I think is going to be great in the future. Just it's all about bodybuilding.
Yeah. So why? I mean, what you do? The thing is, now you do the podcast as well, don't you?
I just started one, yes, not too long ago. It's just on YouTube right now. I really haven't figured out the whole podcast thing, but yeah, I'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, so I have a YouTube channel as well, also called This is Bodybuilding.
Yeah. So why? Obviously, just keep building it though, mate. Keep using your Instagram page to promote it, and just keep. Yeah. And you just learn as you go. That's exactly what I've done. I've just learned as I've gone along, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I've had some really great guests on so far. People like Kevin Lebroni, Steve Kuklo. Wow. I had Terrence Ruffin, Brett Wilkin, a lot of people. So it's going well as far as who I'm having on and how the interviews are going. I just got to get it to grow more.
Who was your favorite?
Probably Kevin Lebroni. It was just, okay. I fanboyed out the whole time. And I asked friends, was it bad? Could you tell I was fanboying? And they were like, yeah, but that's what made it great. You were excited and we were excited. So everyone's a fan of Kevin's, I think.
I'll be, because I mean, Kevin actually, when I was 18 years old, he was the one who encouraged me to start. Right, it was the day after the British Grand Prix in 1994. I was 18, and I was talking to him and sharing, just like fanboying. I was a fan, literally a fanboy. And he said, man, you should write for the magazines. And he called over Peter McGough, and Charles Blake was there.
Wow.
And he said, this guy should have your job. And Peter obviously laughed because he's because he was a legend. And the thing is, it was that actually kind of gave me the impetus to kind of go down that route, So
yeah, he's amazing. He's so inspiring and motivational. I think I told you in the last interview, which no one saw, so this is all new.
Bring it up again.
One day, he called me. We had a conversation on the phone one time about a year or so ago, and he just went about doing like third-person calls to Ronnie Coleman. I spoke with him on the phone. Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler. It was just an amazing night. I got to speak to all these legends.
Wow.
And it kind of opened up things for me, thinking, I should be interviewing these people.
Yeah.
So that's why I started doing the YouTube thing.
I remember Peter McGough saying to me once, and he asked me about, we were talking about different bodybuilders, and he says, have you noticed, he says, when you interview Kevin, he said at some point he actually turns it round and he starts interviewing you.
He does that, yes. He's interested in humans, in human beings and their stories. He's a wonderful guy.
And one last final moment. I remember that day that we went shopping, and he bought this. He bought this piece of sculpture by this Italian sculptor called Giuseppe Armani.
Okay.
And I remember, and he had it shipped back. Just a funny memory,
yeah.
but yeah. So I mean, my whole point of this whole Kevin Navone is I was a bit nervous when I interviewed him, and I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of bodybuilders.
Right. Yeah, he was someone. I was the most nervous interviewing him just because of his legendary status.
Yeah. What about Ronnie?
Well, Ronnie. Speaking of Ronnie, he was super nice. He was the most. He's a very genuine guy. Very humble for perhaps the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Really nice guy. Yeah.
I mean, I met Ronnie. I think it was 96 Grand Prix. So I was 20, and I met him at the Olympias. And all through his career, and he's never changed. He was the same when I was 96 than he was when he was the best, the best of the best.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah. So, right, okay, the reason I want to get you on, one of the main reasons is I want to get your feelings on the upcoming Arnold Classic, because obviously us bodybuilding fans we're just in heaven at the moment with all the shows.
Right.
Arnold Classic right before the Olympia. We've got the Olympia, we got the Rome, we've got Romania, we've got all these different pro shows. So, you said right before we started filming, you're not actually going to the Arnold Classic, but you're going to the Olympia.
No. Yeah, I won't make it this year. I've been there every year since I think 2015. I love that show, but this year I just couldn't make it. But I will be at the Olympia for sure.
Oh, I'm gutted. I still don't know whether I can get there, but I'm still hopeful.
Yeah, traveling must be crazy right now with COVID and everything.
Yeah, I hoped it kind of would have eased a bit, but right, okay, So how should we do this with the Arnold Classic? Should we
want to talk about bodybuilding first, or classic physique? What would you?
To be honest, I only had the open in my head.
You only have the opening in your head.
If you want to talk about classic, I mean, because I haven't even got the names in front of me.
Whatever you want to talk about, we can just talk about open bodybuilding. That's great.
I'll tell you what, though. Who's winning the classic then at the Arnold Classic?
Classic. If I had to pick, I would go with Terrence Ruffin. Just on paper, he's the top guy right now. Who was second at the Olympia, so I think I'd go with him. There's some other really good talent there.
If you'd have said that 2 weeks ago, I'd have said, I don't think so, because wasn't he? I think the whole John Meadows, I think it did knock him off, understandably. And to be honest, I was worried a couple of weeks ago when I was looking at the pictures. I was thinking, is he going to make it in time?
He looks like he's made leaps and bounds in the past couple of weeks. He has a new coach, Hyacinth, I can't think of his last name, Nasir, I think it is.
Correct.
And he's great. Mostly I'm familiar with his work with the ladies, but he does get people shredded, so I think he'll be great.
Because I was thinking, should he pull out of the Arnold Classic and just because in 5 weeks, this was at 5 weeks out for the Olympia. I thought it's doable in 5, but is it doable in 3?
Right.
And he's just pulled a miracle, hasn't he?
It looks like it, yes. Yeah, so I think him, but there's also guys like Logan Franklin, who I think is going to do really well.
Yeah.
Courage Apara. Tony Tavares, somebody else who I think is going to do really well. He won the Dallas Europa. But there's a whole bunch of names in that show. And the champion, the defending champion, Alex Cambronero, is in it too. So,
shit, I mean, it could literally come down to Alex and Terence again, couldn't it?
I think so. I think it probably will. It's going to be exciting, yeah.
Do you think Terence will get his own back on Alex?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think. He beat him at the Olympia, placed higher than him at the Olympia. I think he's going to continue that way.
I just fingers crossed he's got that, because his condition at the Olympia was just stunning last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
That
was crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
That was really, no one expected him to play second going into that show. Everyone always thought it was going to be Breon and Chris Bumstead for years to come, and that changed last year. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Then let's talk about the Open. Who do you want to start with, mate? Just throw me a name.
Well, I mean, if I had to pick a winner for it, I would say William Bonac.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
There's my little Willie. There you go. What? What's he laughing at? What's he laughing at? I don't understand the joke. Sorry, I've rolled that joke out about 10 times now. It's getting a bit rusty now. But you obviously haven't heard that one.
Good. Keep it going.
Right. Anyway, so you did you see the guest posing footage
of Williams?
Yeah.
Yes. I think he looked good. I think he's. What did you think of it?
Well, I just had Patrick Tuor on, and he saw the footage. I've only seen a few photos.
Okay.
And to me, he looks, because he's so consistent, he's exactly what I expected. He's thick, he's full, he looks exactly how he should 2 weeks out. I agree. I mean, there's only so much you can do when you've got that kind of frame, and he's had it maxed out now for probably 4 years.
Yeah. I think he just has to, if he just consistently brings his conditioning in like he always does, he's either going to win or place very high in all of these shows. Even the Olympia, he's always going to be a top placer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how much difference we'll see in him ever going forward, because like you said, I think he's pretty maxed out with muscle.
So okay then, so who potentially could beat William in this Arnold Classic?
So this is what I think. The guy I'm picking to be the possible dark horse of the show is not someone that most people are talking about. Well, Akeem, I think, has a very good chance, but I'm going to say this. Steve Kuklo.
Oh, wow.
He took the loss pretty hard in Texas in a way that was super motivational to him. I think he's more ripped now and was last week even than he was on stage. So he's highly motivated to get to the Olympia, and his only way to do so is to win this show. I don't know if he will, but I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I'm in complete agreement that Texas really put a fire under his ass. It's almost like
if he'd have won it, would he still have had that fire coming into this Arnold Classic? Because, it was, like you said, it was you were at Texas, right?
Yes, I was. Very close show.
Exactly. Yeah, it was close between him and Ian Valliere. So he's probably thinking, shit, I should have been winning this show. It's in my backyard. So, like, I saw the pictures and I was thinking, I've seen a few videos. Now, do you see the one where he's getting the sports massage? And I've never seen that on him before. And thing is, he's what, 6'1", 280, 285. He's got nothing missing. So
he's really impressive. At the Texas show, Texas Pro, I actually had him winning at prejudging, and then in finals he kind of faded a little bit, and Ian really came on strong. Yeah. Ian is another one of the guys who I would have to mention as someone that has a chance of winning the show. There's a lot of guys in the show that are top-notch talent. But we'll see with Ian. We'll see how he is.
I kind of said this to Patrick, and I said I've got about 10 guys in my top 5.
Yeah. I mean, there's guys, Sergio, Akeem. It's really hard to pick who the winner will be. I do think it's William has got the best chance, but then if I had to pick a top 6, I would have Kuklo, Sergio, Ian, Akeem, and Nick Walker.
Hang on a minute. What is it? That's not in order.
That's not in order.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna pin you down now. So let's go straight to your predictions, then we'll work back from that.
Okay.
Put you on the spot.
Wow.
You're gonna get some nasty DMs after this.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard.
I know,
to say
it's very hard.
They're so also good. But if I had to pick, I would say William. I'm going to go with Steve. I do think Steve's going to do really, really well. Ian Valliere.
Mm-hmm. It's tough, isn't it?
I'm going to say Akeem.
Okay.
Sergio.
Fifth.
And I'm going to say Nick Walker as well. Nick is someone who I think's got all the potential in the world. We just haven't really seen him next to this level of talent before. He did beat Justin Rodriguez, who's also an excellent bodybuilder in the show, but I have to see what he's going to look like at the Arnold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like for Nick to even make top 5 and top 6. That's like I said. Apart from Hadi, Ramy, and who's the other one? Brandon. This is the Olympia lineup.
Yes.
So that's the equivalent of him like making sort of 6 to 8 at the Olympia, where I think he probably will fall.
Right, I agree with you. Yes, yeah. I mean, he's got all the potential in the world. He's talking about winning the show and winning his first Olympia, and I think it's great when guys like young guys think that way, because you have to think that way to reach his ultimate potential. Yeah, and I think he's gonna do really well in both of the shows.
Yeah. So, I mean, Sergio, we hasn't been on stage since he took 5th place last year. Because I'm really interested to see Steve Kuclo versus Sergio. Because when I walked out with Sergio at the Arnold Classic last year, he said to me, he said, I feel like I should have been 4th ahead of Steve Kuclo.
Well, yes. So now my opinion about that show was I actually had Sergio 3rd.
Wow.
And I had Steve 4th still, and I had Ramy 5th.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought his conditioning wasn't there, and also I just take issue a little bit with Ramy's proportions, his legs being so huge compared to his upper body, and I just thought Sergio nailed it last year. I thought he was amazing. His posing was phenomenal. Whenever he's on stage, my eyes go to Sergio because he's just got a lot of charisma as well as a fantastic physique.
And I've said this. I think I said this on the interview that we accidentally deleted. When he came out next to Ramy, he didn't look small last year.
No,
he didn't.
Yes,
did he?
I agree with you. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's tall too. He's probably 5'11", 6 foot, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got a great chance of winning this thing too, because he's another guy who I can't look at him and think of a body part that's missing. Like everything's there. He's got great separation too. He could win the show even. It's really a hard show to pick.
Yeah.
To nail down how it's definitely going to go.
So give me 3 guys that could say, okay, let's just imagine Bonak's not in this show. 3 guys that could potentially win this.
I have to give you 4.
I'll give you 10.
Okay. I think Steve, Ian, Sergio, and Akeem they're 4 guys who could win the show other than William. I'm not mentioning Rully Winkler in this whole thing, and it's only because, I mean, he's a guy who last year, or even before the Chicago Pro had happened, if you asked me who could be Mr. Olympia this year coming up, I would have included him in the conversation. But I feel like he slipped a lot this year. Leg size especially.
Michael, I was in Alicante. And Lauren was as well. And if you saw obviously seeing it firsthand, like you were in Texas, with Ian and Steve, what he pulled in 3 weeks was nothing short of a miracle. Because Chicago, I was like, okay, I think he's done. I think he's on the slide now. And if he could do what he did from Chicago to Alicante, if he could do that again, then you're gonna have to change that top 3.
Yeah. Okay. That would be great to see. I would love that. That would be so exciting to see happen. I would love it. Yeah. And I understand that because I only saw pictures of that show. I didn't even watch a replay of that or anything. I did watch the Chicago Pro. Yeah. And I was shocked with that, but sadly. But I know that with looking at pictures, you can't really tell how things are. That's sort of how with the New York Pro, or not with the New York Pro, with the Texas Pro. Mm-hmm. Ian Valliere is another guy who you kind of have to see him just to realize how awesome he is, because every little sinew of muscle, all the little tiny veins he's so grainy. Yeah. That in person, it's like, wow, it was really impressive to see. He was at that show 257 pounds or so, and standing next to 290-pound Steve Kuclo. And though Kuclo was definitely bigger, no doubt about it, he held his own. that size.
I think Valier, it's like James Holland said, I think he's what I keep hearing there that you have to see them in the flesh. It's like last year with Valier, I had him based on the cell phone pictures and the low resolution stuff from the New York Pro, I had him probably 5th. But when I saw the pose down footage and I saw the high resolution, if you're actually on global, I bring it up on the screen and you see my reaction. I go, holy shit, it's totally different. And I keep hearing he's one of these guys like Branch Warren. I didn't get the whole Branch Warren thing until I saw him sat front row at the Arnold Classic, and I went, holy shit, I get it.
Right. Those two guys are great examples of that. I never saw Dorian Yates compete live, and I always heard the same thing about Dorian Yates.
I did.
That if you saw him do it, like
yes,
I think it was I once heard Jay Cutler and Chris Aceto say that they had been at that 95 Olympia, and as great as everyone was, even Kevin Lebroni, as soon as you saw Dorian, it was like, okay, forget it. Yeah. It's not even close. So it's interesting how some guys are like that you have to see them.
I've asked this question to a few people, and it's like, if you could go back in time and go to any one particular show in all of bodybuilding history, what would it be? Because mine would either be the 1993 Olympia where Dorian walked out and kind of set a new standard, and also 2003 when Ronnie walked out and set a new standard. What's yours?
Yeah, those two would be great ones. Also 98 I would love to be at too.
Oh, yeah.
One of my good friends...
The shock.
Yeah, a good friend of mine was at that show. He said he was in denial through the whole thing, going, "No, it's Flex," because he was such a big Flex fan.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, was like, "No, it was clear." Ronnie was special. Yeah.
And Ronnie, obviously, I know I do nothing but a podcast with Ronnie, and he keeps saying his favorite look that he ever brought was that first Olympia. It was 247. Yeah. 247.
Yes. Crazy. And I asked him, I said, is it really your favorite because it was your first win, or do you think that was your best physique? And he said, no, it's my best physique. I've never been that ripped ever again. So
do you remember that back shot when he did the art? And it's like, it looks like stone. Looks like stone.
And he looks like he's 300 pounds in that pose. Like he was only like you said, under 250. He looked humongous.
Yeah.
He was a freak. Yeah.
So who apart from the kind of names we've mentioned at the Arnold Classic, who are you looking forward to seeing, and who do you think, if they really kind of brought it, they could kind of step over some of the bigger names?
Yeah, I mean, I think all those names are the guys who Rully Winkler would be really great to see him bring it again. I don't think any of the other guys have a chance of winning the show, but I would love to see Max Charles fully nail his conditioning from front to back, top to bottom. Yeah. Because he's a guy who, when he stands in front relaxed, it's like, holy shit, he's the most conditioned guy on the planet. His abs are etched so deeply, and then when he turns around from the lower back down, it's just never quite the same. And I don't know if he could, what that is about. Like, I wonder if he was to lose that whatever subcutaneous water or whatever it is down there, if everything else would look flat and small. I don't know.
I remember when he walked out at the Arnold Classic last year, I was there, and I know he took 8th, which is good, but I mean, he was a big talking point because it was like, shit, I didn't think he could look like that.
Right. He and there was a really giant guy.
Morgan Ast.
Yes. Yeah. They were the two most conditioned guys in that show.
Yeah.
Most conditioned. But I thought Max deserved maybe better than he got, but it was again another one of those shows where everyone was so good at that top 8. So
what about guys like Lee Seung Chul, Hassan Mustafa, Justin Rodriguez, Mohamed? Are you looking forward to seeing them?
Yeah, I mean, I saw Hassan Mustafa in Texas, and that guy is crazy big. I mean, he has to walk around his own legs. His quads are humongous.
Yeah.
And if he's a guy that we say it all the time, every show he goes into, if he was to nail it, he could win a show because he is such a freak. The size is incredible. It's like he could be Rami level good if he was to get that good. He's just not bringing the conditioning.
Well, Rami's proved that it can be done because if you'd have told me last summer that, I remember I interviewed Ronnie and Ronnie said, I think Rami's going to win the Olympia. And I almost, even though, yes, Rami's amazing, I was kind of like, okay, maybe 3-4 years ago, but now I've kind of given up on the guy, and then he kind of just did what he did with Chad Nichols and Dennis James. And it was like, holy shit, he's done it, So these things are possible.
Absolutely, but I think he needs to make a change in some way. I mean, he's with, I think, Aceto, who is great, but apparently it's just not working, those two guys. I don't know. Sometimes it's, no matter what coach you get, though, if someone's eating an extra cup of rice, you can't stop that from happening. You just don't know. But
he is improving. He is improving. He is improving.
Yes, Chad definitely made a huge difference in Big Ramy. At that Arnold Classic, I was like, oh, he looks like Big Ramy. To me, he looked a little better at finals, but at the Olympia, they just clicked perfectly. So if he does it again, I think it's going to be hard to beat him this year.
Right. So you think it's Bonac's shows to lose then, basically?
I think so.
Yeah. On paper, that's kind of that's it. That's a safe assumption, isn't it?
Yeah, he's the highest ranked Olympian going into it, and he's a defending champion, 2-time champion. So I think he's got it.
All right, then, Michael. Oh, one thing, you did press record, didn't you?
Yo, did we? Yeah.
Take 56. Oh man. So thank you so much, Michael. Also, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Who's winning the fitness?
Oh, fitness? I'm going to go with Missy Truscott. I think she's amazing. Great physique. I think she could do well in figure if she was to do figure. She's amazing. I'm kind of hopeful in fitness. I love Oksana and I love Whitney Jones. I think they are amazing. But I would love to see Ariel Kadar and Jacqueline Baker make that jump into the top 3. I would love for some changing of the guard there. There's some young talent that I think really could place higher. If
Ariel Kadar has made the improvements to the leap up in her routine that she has with her physique, because I mean I've been looking at all her posts recently. I'm like, okay, she's really made some improvements this last year in her physique.
Her physique is crazy. I think she's amazing. Jacqueline Baker, is not as I would think. Well, both of those girls, genetically speaking, just with their build, are not quite as gifted as, say, Missy Truscott, but they're making the most of what they have, and they've made something pretty impressive for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with everything you've just said there. So, which is always good. Right then, Michael. I know you got to go to work, so I'm going to let you go, mate. Sir. But thank you so much. Thank you, and also thank you for being so gracious, because you could have held a load of abuse at me and a load of angry voice notes, but you didn't. You were very cool about it, and I really appreciate it, because I felt like shit.
No, don't worry. And I'm just honored that you had me on. I really do appreciate it, Giles. You didn't have to have me on. I appreciate you.
Well, keep up the great work with the Instagram page. This is Bodybuilding. Give them a follow, guys. I'm probably already are. You must have every bodybuilding fan following it in the world. So keep up the great work and keep going with the podcasts and just keep pushing and keep doing the good work, because there's a lot of I'm very, very supportive of the, how can I put this, the positive people in the industry that are there for the athletes and there to promote not be clickbait, not do anything, shine a light on negative things or unfortunate things, like some of the things that have happened the last couple of weeks. These are things that I will never personally shine a light on. So,
me neither.
Because we're bodybuilding fans at our core, and that's basically what I think you and I connect on, on that level. So keep up the great work, mate, and hopefully if I can get out to the Olympia, I'll see you out there, mate.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Michael.
Care. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm joined all the way from Alabama, 212 Pro Jason Hebert.
Yeah, it's actually Jason Hebert, but a lot of people get that wrong, so it's okay.
Oh, no! So. Oh, well, we're off to a good start. So, Hebert?
It's actually like the letter A and bear, so it's a Cajun name, so that's why it's kind of pronounced a little bit weird.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, say my name then.
Giles?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, the amount of people that come on the show call me Giles.
Oh, I got it right. Awesome.
Yeah. So thank you for getting right. Okay. Brilliant. Right now, Jason, I literally know nothing about you. I've seen you popping up on the live streams, and if you look at the play-by-play commentary, there's been, I've said on a few of the shows I've seen you in this year, you kind of stood out to me in the lineups in the 212 shows. I loved your shape, and like I said, we had on Global Muscle and Hot News last week, and right. I know absolutely nothing about you, so I just wanted to get you on and find out more about you, Jason.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about your contest history?
Yeah, I turned pro in 2018 at the North American Championships, and I was actually a middleweight whenever I turned pro. And right after that, I was planning on doing my pro debut in Tampa the very next year. And I actually ended up deploying to Kuwait with the Air Force.
Oh, wow.
And so I kind of postponed just a little bit. So I was whenever I got back in January of 2020, I was playing a little bit kind of like a catch-up kind of thing to get back in.
Yeah.
And I actually did my pro debut in 2020 with the whole COVID nonsense, happening and all that kind of stuff. So I did my pro debut at the Chicago Pro in 2020, and I placed 4th. So I was really, really happy with that. Honestly, the goal was to place top 5 in my pro debut, and I did that. So,
wow. So
yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot there. So what about how old are you, and how long have you been competing for?
I'm 32, and I've been competing since 2014.
Oh wow. So literally started quite late then, really?
Yes, I did start really, really late.
So tell us about this year then. Tell us about some of the shows you've done.
Yeah, so I did the Chicago Pro again this year for my first one, and I was wanting to do one a little bit earlier, but like with like passport issues and stuff like that, I was going to do the Puerto Rico Pro, and we just had some issues with that. But so I went ahead and did the Chicago Pro again, and then 2 weeks after that, did the Tampa Pro, and then did the Texas Pro right after that one. So 3 shows right back to back. So it was a pretty busy month.
Yeah. So you said you're in the Air Force.
Yes, I did 4 years active Marine Corps back in 2007 to 2011.
Yeah.
And then got out for a year and basically just kind of missed the military way of life and having base access and stuff like that. And so I joined the Air National Guard right after that. And I've been in there since 2012.
Okay, so you're still. So what's the situation now? Where you? How does it work?
It's basically once a month you go in and do your duties. It's like 1 week in a month. And then there's 2 weeks out of the year where you do your annual training. Yeah. And so you're required to go out, wherever they want you to go for 2 weeks. And so it's not like a full-time thing. It doesn't take from my training, anything like that. So it works out really well. So
do you do anything any other than that, or is it just purely all that, the Air Force?
As far as military goes, it's just that. Now,
wow.
Civilian life, I'm a full-time personal trainer and nutrition coach.
Okay.
So that's what I do. Now, I've done plenty of other stuff before then because I actually just started my business last year whenever I moved to Mobile, Alabama in the summer. So there's a lot that happened last year in 2020 when things probably shouldn't have happened because of everything going on. But I think 2020 is probably my most successful year for sure.
Wow, so that was when you made your 4th place at the Chicago Pro, you said?
Yeah, Chicago Pro.
Wow, okay. So who's your coach?
AJ Sims.
AJ Sims, of course, yeah, because fantastic. How's that working out?
Oh, it's fantastic. He prepped me for my first show with him back in 2018 it was just a local show, basically just to qualify for nationals or a national level competition. And we won the overall in that one, and then went straight to North Americans right after that and turned pro. So it was a really, really good hit off from the very beginning. Wow.
Okay. So, I guess you really stood out. I think I remember saying, it reminds me of like a 212 Jay Cutler.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Yeah. Because I really liked your midsection. I thought your midsection looked really, really good, really aesthetic, and really kind of set your physique off nicely. And I just couldn't get over your quads. They were really like... Even though you've got quite good balance, your quads are really like a big standout feature on your physique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that because Jay Cutler was honestly my very first inspiration to begin bodybuilding to begin with. Between him and then whenever Flex Lewis came onto the scene, I felt like I could kind of relate to him just a little bit more just because we were in the same type of class. But Jay Cutler was my original inspiration.
Wow. So you moved to Alabama. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi. So not too far. It was basically like an hour and a half drive, somewhere around. Yeah, so not very far.
So what was the reason for the move?
Honestly, just a job opportunity. I was able to pursue my personal training goals out here more so than when I was in Mississippi. And I just basically just took the leap. before that, I was working for a company called Muscle Foods, and I was delivering supplements to like gyms, nutrition shops, and stuff like that. And whenever this whole COVID stuff started, they laid me off, and because we couldn't deliver to anything because all the stores are closed, and I pretty much had enough for working for somebody else. So I decided just to do my own thing and literally uprooted everything, and then came over here to Alabama and started my own thing.
Fantastic. So your life has completely changed literally in the last couple of years. It's all kind of you kind of took that leap of faith. Like I had Martin Fitzwater on the other week, who trains with Brett Wilkin, and he kind of had a similar story. He's like, yeah, I just decided to just go for it and, relocate and just, to take that next step forward with everything I'm doing. And that's exactly what you've done. And it's really it's really worked out. Oh yeah, absolutely. And of course, every time or anytime you do something like that, it's a pretty big thing. Like you don't really know what the outcome is going to be, especially your own business like that. Whenever I left, I didn't have any clients. I didn't have my wife didn't have a job. She was moving over here with nothing as well. And so we really took a pretty big risk. And now she's with the fire department over here. And I have my own business. So it worked out really, really well. Wow, so that's awesome. So everything's just worked out. So tell me about your next plans now for your contests.
All right. So that's the big question, because we're honestly not really sure. Obviously, the goal is to put on as much lean muscle tissue as possible. And, I am one of the smaller guys on the 212 stage, even though my conditioning kind of makes me look like I fit in with size wise. But yeah. I just need a lot more size. And I remember you saying something about my weight, and in the last show that I did, I was only like 194, 195 on stage.
Wow. Soon as you said middleweight was it 2019?
2018.
I was thinking, so that's 176 pounds, and there's only so much size you can put on quality in a couple of years. And that's when it kind of triggered what I said last week. And I was thinking, yeah, he probably is one of the lighter 212s. So how tall are you then?
I'm 5'7". So not the shortest guy. Yeah, I know.
Hang on, that doesn't make sense. I don't understand how you stand out so much in a 212, being way under 212, and you're 5'7".
Yeah, I don't really understand it either. I think it really is just a density thing. So like this way, like I'm okay, but whenever it comes to like thickness wise, I'm just not on par with the rest of the guys. I think that's what kind of holds me back, especially from the back. I think that's really what just kind of holds me back a little bit from really being competitive to being in that first spot.
You say it holds you back, but it's actually a very good position to be in, because if you went in, say, your first year as a 212 and it's like you're struggling to even make it down under 212, where can you really go other than the open?
That's true. Yeah. No, so that I do play that to my advantage. I mean, I've got plenty of room to grow in this class, and that's what I'm so happy about, because whenever I was trying to make middleweight, oh man, I honestly don't even know how I made that weight class. Because we'll go back to 2018 when I competed in the qualifier before. I was a light heavyweight in that show, and I was like right about 189, 190 pounds on stage, and I was definitely ready, and I won the overall in that show. And then literally 2 weeks after that, I had to make 176.
Shit.
It was pretty
5'7".
Yeah, 5'7". Yeah.
That's blown me away, because normally, like, I've got a pretty good idea of height and weight, but you've completely thrown me with that one, mate. Yeah, but that's great though, because it's like if you're 195 and you're getting good placings in 212 shows, and you've got that's 17 pounds before you even hit the 212. You could have a 4 or 5 year pro career, a successful one that continually progresses as a 212.
Yes, definitely, and that's what's so exciting about it. So I'm definitely like going back to the scheduling and everything for next year. We're not even sure if we're going to be actually competing next year, just because I do need that time to put on the size. And I think obviously being at the top of the weight class would be optimal, but I think around like 205, 207, somewhere around there. And we're not trying to set a goal weight or anything like that. We're going off a look, but I that a 205, 207 would be a pretty good look to come back into and compete in the 212.
Well, I mean, to counter that, a really good argument is Sean Clarida at 177 pounds, and you've got Kamal that's probably not weighed more than 208, on the 212 on any 212 stage, and he's kind of, and he's at maximum development, So in terms of that, I mean, it's crazy to think like Sean Clarida is probably still into 212 in the off season.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
The first time it was actually back in 2018. It was right after right after I turned pro. I went to the Olympia, and I, at the time I was with Animal, and I was working one of the booths, and that was the first time I met him, and he was so small. I was just like, man, this guy is like, and of course he wasn't the 212 champ yet, but I mean, I knew he was going to get there eventually, and but standing next to him, I was like, I think I might be able to take this guy. Like, but I'm looking back now,
I mean, even his head's small, and he's got small wrists, but it's just, that's what kind of like Flex Wheeler when he was kind of at his peak, and like weighing 218 at the Arnold Classic in '93, and just, it's all about the muscle bellies and how much muscle you actually cram onto that frame. Right.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So what does Justin think in terms of what's the plan moving forward?
I think, right now, we're well into the off season, even though it's only been about 5 weeks since the show. Yeah. We're trying to put on as much size as we can. Right now, we're kind of scaling back food just a little bit, just kind of resensitized. But I think what the plan is, we're probably going to take next year off from competing. Now, that doesn't mean like push, food, the entire way. We'll do some cuts here and there, but I think probably the goal is to compete really early in the year in 2023. But that's still up in the air. It just kind of depends on what I look like next year.
Yeah. Okay. So going back to the active service, how do you manage to implement your training when you're away? And obviously, how does that work?
So it's only once a month that I meet. So I literally just drive back to Mississippi for the weekend, and I still have access to a gym out there. And I just pack all my food with me and just drive over there. Now the 2 weeks out of the year that I go, that one, I mean, you're just kind of doing what you got to do, basically. Obviously we have access to food and everything, and I'm pretty sure most places will have a gym and stuff like that. But the main priority is to get the job done with the military over there, and it's only 2 weeks. Yeah. So I could kind of use that as like a break, if you want to call it that. But it's really not going to be detrimental to training or advancement. Have you ever spoke to Cedric McMillan? No, not in person. No, I haven't.
Yeah, because obviously he does. Because I mean, I don't know what his role is exactly, but he seems to be quite active.
Oh yeah,
and he's managed to maintain and train, and it can be done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I have some friends that are actually active military that do the same thing. Before I even knew what competing was, when I was in the Marine Corps, there was a guy that I would always see in the gym, because the last 6 months that I was in the Marine Corps, I worked at the gym just because I knew I was getting out, so I wasn't like training for any deployments or anything like that. And I would see this guy coming to the gym every day, and he would go off to the back room and pose. And he actually turned pro not too long after that. And but he was competing the whole time he was in, and he was in for probably 12 years active. So, I mean, he was really successful.
Yeah. Dave Henry as well. Dave Henry.
Yeah. David Henry. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I do miss the Marine Corps, basically the camaraderie and the brotherhood. But, the way of life is a lot better with the Air Force, of course. Mm-hmm. But I definitely don't regret, like coming out of the Marine Corps and then going into the Air Force. I wouldn't do it the opposite way. So I'm glad I did the Marine Corps first and then went to the Air Force. But yeah, I enjoy it, and I'll definitely stay in until I retire. There's no reason to get out now. I've been in for quite a while.
How many years have you been in?
Let's see, that'll be 14 years. Man, yeah, 14 years, because I did 4 years active, and then back in 2012, I went with the Air National Guard, and until now. So yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, then. So have you ever met Flex Lewis? Have you ever spoke to him much? Has he ever given you any advice? Or?
Yes, I've met him twice. The first time I met him was actually in Louisiana. He was guest posing. Okay. And I can't remember what year that was. I think it may have been like 2016 or 17. And then the second time I met him, it was at a national competition, and he remembered, like, this was like a year and a half later. Mm-hmm. He remembered my name and everything. It was crazy. Because like he meets, thousands of people. And it was just really cool that he was able to remember who I was. So I think that's what made a pretty big impact with his influence with me as well. So that was really cool.
I mean, the reason I brought his name up is because I know he's really, really, like, he really, really wants, like, I was talking to Austin Carr the other week, and he had a kind of similar story, and he said, like, look, Flex is really, you know, it's almost like he's paying it forward to the next generation, and he wants to see guys like yourself and Austin. He wants to genuinely see you all get the most out of your careers, and it's nice to see that level of support, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You have to get your ass over to his gym in Vegas, mate.
Oh, I would love to. And I actually talk to Austin pretty regularly because, you know, we're coached by AJ, and so we talk every now and then, and yeah, I would love to go out there and visit. It would be really cool.
Nice. Have you trained with any of others of AJ's clients, like George DeBull or Akeem, or?
No, I haven't trained with any of them. I've been meaning to really go over to AJ's, like, his garage gym, because
cement factory, isn't it? So what's he called it? What is he called?
Well, he calls it the dump.
The dump, yeah. yeah.
I've been meaning to get over there, and actually, when I competed in Tampa this year, I was trying to get over there, but I mean, he was so busy with clients. I mean, I think he had like 8 bodybuilders doing that show. So he was in Tampa as well, and I think he's like an hour and a half south of there anyway. But yeah, I still haven't been able to train with him at his gym and everything, but I need to get out there one day because it just looks crazy.
Do you know what? I can't even remember hearing his name about a year ago, and now it's just, you know, he's had such a he's kind of exploded, isn't he, in the last year as a coach? I mean, I just had George Peterson on, and we actually had to abandon the interview because the Skype was bad, but you know, we started to talk about AJ Sims and, you know, how what an amazing coach he is. I mean, he's really kind of on the rise at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he's fantastic, and I mean, not just a really good coach, but just an awesome person too. You know, like he really genuinely cares about his athletes, and like he doesn't do it for like the fame and all that kind of stuff. Like a lot of other coaches, obviously I'm not gonna mention any names, but like he genuinely cares about the success of his clients and the health of his clients. Yeah, and just a really good person.
You know, I remember when I introduced Zach Khan to Neil Hill. This was back in 2008. And like Neil said, he said, look, Giles, he said, I would love to work with Zach. He says, but we have to kind of connect and get on. He says, if we can become friends, he said, then it's going to be the difference between him being a good athlete and an amazing athlete, because I'll be more invested, in that trust and that respect will be there. And also like a proper friendship, you know?
Right. Yeah. I 100% agree. Definitely.
Yeah. So, obviously you're not going anywhere else then. You're sticking with AJ for the foreseeable then.
As long as he continues to do it. Rumors that he was gonna stop coaching, and I was like, man, like, what am I gonna do? But no, I'm definitely in for good. As long as he still has me, I'm in.
Brilliant. Are you excited for this year's 212 Olympia?
Oh yeah. The lineup is crazy, man. Like, and I'll be there too. I've got I'm going out there with Gasp and everything, and. Oh, wow. I'll be there for the 212 finals and the men's open prejudging for Friday night.
I didn't realize you were with Gas, because I'm good friends with Michael Johansson, the owner.
Yeah. Oh man, he's an awesome guy too.
He's cool, isn't he?
I love. Yeah. He's I was actually out there earlier in the year, did an interview out there and trained with Keon and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, he's a really good guy, and he's taking really good care of me.
I actually flew over to Dallas in 2012 when they did the groundbreaking for the original destination.
Oh yeah.
Branch Warren was there, and Rich Gaspari was there, and Zach Khan was there. It was so cool. So I went a few years later, and he showed me the new destination, and it's just so great to see, you know, how Gasp has kind of exploded over there. You know, because I literally, when I'm not wearing suits, I literally live in the stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm saying I'm wearing a Gasp tank right now. That's literally probably 90% of my clothes in my closet right now. I just wore it.
and I could not train without my black and yellow wrist wraps, mate.
Yeah. Well, they've got the new ones now, you know, the blue black camo, blue and black camo, and they're really, I like them. I
have a pair of those as well.
Okay. There you go.
So I want to talk about the 212 Olympia then. So your teammate Keon's in there. As a lot. Okay, I'll just tell us how you think he's going to do this year.
We don't really know.
Come on.
He's always shown up like just right there, you know. I mean, obviously he has incredible shape and he's an awesome guy. But his conditioning is just shy of what it needs to be like to be really competitive on the Olympian stage. And yeah, the show, he's got it. And I really think with the new coach that he has now, I really think it's going to make a huge difference. So that's why I'm so pumped to go. And I just want to see him just show up and just shock the world, basically. It's going to be really, really crazy.
So say he absolutely nails that condition with the new muscle he has and that beautiful shape of his. How do you think he could do this year?
I think he could easily be top 3.
Do you know what? Every single person I've spoke to pretty much has had Keon in the top 3 in that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. His structure is just so incredible. And, he could be slightly off and just smoke everyone, And I think if he really brings that conditioning, the Olympia level conditioning that I know that he can bring, he's going to be a problem for a lot of people.
Okay, so we've got let's talk about some of the front runners. You got Kamal, you've got Sean Clarida, the defending champ, you've got Derek Lunsford.
Yeah, Derek, yeah.
We've got a lot of new faces like Tonio Burton, we've got Nathan Epler, we've got Lucas Coelho, new guys from Brazil coming through, Angel Calderon. So you think he could really kind of step over a lot of those names?
I think so. You also got George Peterson as well.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Sorry, George. Yeah.
Man, that's why I'm so excited to be there because go anyway. There's so many good guys in that lineup. It's crazy, and it's really hard to place people in their placements because somebody could be just slightly off, just like what I was saying with Keon or even Derek Lunsford. He's like just a hair off with the conditioning. And he could be bumped down a couple spots just because of that. But I really feel like if everyone nails it, it could be anyone's show.
So, I mean, obviously a big talking point is Derek Lunsford working with Hani Rambod. And we've obviously seen, I think I was shocked at how within a couple of weeks things started happening. With his physique. I was like, hang on a minute, this was at the end of last year. And I could see huge changes in Derek. So, I mean, he's been second twice. He dropped to 4th last year. Sean Clarida is going to come back better. So where do you see Derek? Do you think he's a threat?
I think he's a threat. I don't know if it's really a conditioning thing or if it's just that it's so hard for him to get down to that weight that maybe it really affects his look. I honestly think that he belongs in the open class. That's just my opinion. But I don't really know what he looks like whenever he's 220, so who knows? Yeah. I feel like that's the same with like Austin Carr, people like that, they've got bigger frames and they've got a lot of muscle tissue. And I feel like if they really make the jump into that open class, they could do some pretty serious damage in the open class. So it just depends on if getting down to that 212 weight class is just affecting his look or if it really is just a conditioning thing. If it's a conditioning thing, I think Hani could get him in.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if like Hadi Chupin or William Bonac hadn't stepped up from 212 to open. We'd never have seen the best versions of them.
Oh, yeah. And, he exploded, too. Hadi, he looks ridiculous. He was crazy in 212. He just looks that much better in the open. So that's what I was saying. I think if they just made the leap into that open class and really push for that, I think they seriously well.
Thing about Hadi, though, I saw him at the San Marino in 2017 when he beat Brandon Curry, and he should have beat Cedric. He was second. And, this was only a couple of weeks after he'd come second to Flex Lewis at the Korea Pro, and he was the same. They said he was 212, but I was like, hang on a minute. He's looking like he looked thick. It looked like he put 20 pounds on, but actually, apparently he wasn't. He was exactly the same weight that he was. How much could you realistically put on in a couple of weeks? So even as a 212 in the open, he was competitive.
Yeah. Yeah. And bodybuilding is an illusion thing. You know this. I'm 194, 195 on stage, and I'm comparable to some of the bigger guys. So it really is just an illusion thing, and I really feel like his level of conditioning is, I don't really know if I can beat that. So I really kind of separates you, makes you look a lot bigger than what you really are too, and so I back to my strength as well.
Yeah. So who'd you like the best out of the new guys, like the Tonio Burtons, Nathan Eplers, Lucas Coelho? There's 3 names. I'm trying to think of some other new faces that are coming in, because it does seem to be a lot of new blood, like people like yourself coming into the 212 that are going to be, a real force, very soon.
Is Lucas? Is he the guy with the hair?
Yeah, yeah.
That's that guy right there. He looks super impressive to me. I like his presence on stage too. He kind of has like that look and that aura about him. Really confident in his posing. He's just like, everything just looks natural and it looks really cool. You know, not just like, strained or anything like that. So I think out of all the newer guys coming up, I think he's the most impressive to me.
Do you know, yeah, the hair, because I was about 6-8 weeks out from when he won Portugal. I was like, holy shit, who's it? That frontal bicep looked like he'd been photoshopped. And I kept, as the weeks got closer, I was like, I've got a funny feeling this guy might lose this impressiveness when he comes down to 212. And he didn't. He actually he actually brought that impressiveness. And the thing is, that frontal bicep, that's the first pose you hit. That's the most impressive pose of his,
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, I think he's in a good spot as well as you are, because if you're getting good top 5 placings in multiple high profile shows at 195, I mean, I can see why you want to take your time a little bit, because if you're a factor at 195 and you've got all that room to grow and you can put that size on your frame, I mean, God, a couple of years, mate, you'll be winning multiple shows.
I think so, and like I said, I think that's the goal, is to probably try to do it early in the year. Not trying to get in before anyone starts competing or anything in the year, but I really feel like taking that full year off and then going right into a contest prep early in the year, I think it'll set my chances up better for qualifying for the Olympia. So I think that's probably what the plan is. But like I said before, it'll just kind of depend on what I look like later in the year next year.
Yeah, I think you'll be top 5 Olympia in a couple of years, mate. I really do.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's always the goal, to be competitive at the Olympia.
You've got to, because I there was the floor shots I brought up last week on the episode, and I said, I look at the shape and lines, and and I thought you might be a guy that was hitting 212. Do you know what I mean? So if you've still got 17 pounds to play with, and and you're keeping that aesthetics, I mean, God, in a couple of years, mate, you're going to be dangerous.
That's going to be exciting. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, see, Michael Johansson, he's got a good eye for talent, this guy, from Gasp, So before I let you go, Jason, any thank yous, mate?
Yeah, so I just want to, give a shout out to Gasp for taking really good care of me. Awesome people, awesome gym. Atmosphere over there is just crazy. Honestly, if I could just drive over there every day to train, I would.
Yeah.
Will let me move over there because she's rooted in here with the fire department, so we can't really do that. But and also Leica Pro supplements. I remember you mentioned IKEA, and
yeah. Sorry,
just couldn't help but burst out laughing. But no, it's Leica Pro supplements. Jeff Long is the owner of that company. He runs it himself, and just a really good guy, good family man, and the products are just amazing. And then Long Life Meal Prep, they're the ones that take care of all my food. They ship meats to me and everything.
Wow.
So he's a really good guy too. So I have zero complaints at all with them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just really good people.
Jason, I'm really glad I got you on, mate, because like I said, I've been watching the live streams through the year, and you kept standing out, I was scanning the lineup, and I was like, who's this guy? And I had the competitor list, and and I've and I think I've given you a shout out in a couple of the previews I've done with Ron Harris as well. But you got clear talent there, mate, and I'm excited to see what you're going to bring next. I really am, with AJ Sims is in your corner, and Gasp, and and all these amazing sponsors. I think you're in a good spot, mate, and I think it's just going to be a continual rise for you now.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting year next time I compete for sure.
Okay, and maybe one day I'll come train legs with you.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. All right then, mate. Thank you so much for coming on MD Glove Muscle, and I'll speak to you very soon. And welcome back to MD Glove Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined all the way from somewhere down south, Rob. Scarlett Hollands and Rob Canoon. How you doing, guys?
We're doing good, thank you.
Good, thank you. Thank you for having us.
That's okay. God, it's been a chaotic day today, so thank you for bearing with us. So, I want to get you on because, you're a pretty cool couple because you're both now IFBB pros. Well, you've been a pro for a while.
Certainly are. Boom.
So Rob, how does that feel, mate? It's been a bit of an exciting few weeks for you, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. It's still hasn't really sank in, mate. It's been 5 weeks now, and
5 weeks, yeah.
it's still it's kind of surreal, you know, because it's taken me a while to get this. So now that it's actually happened, it feels, like I say, it feels great, and I'm so kind of overwhelmed with it all, really. But yeah, it still feels strange when people say that. You know, I've been congratulated by many people coming up to me, and it's been really nice. You know, for people to go out the way and come up and shake my hand and congratulate me, but it still kind of feels strange when it happens, you know.
Well, you've had 5 weeks now, mate. You've got to get used to it. So you've got to start planning your pro debut. So, so Scarlett, now you're a figure pro. So do you want to tell us a bit about your contest history quickly?
So contest history, I got into the bodybuilding scene in 2015. My mum was a competitor. She competed with the UKBFF.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So as I kind of retired from the ballet world, my mum was like, come and compete, basically. So I started 2015 junior bikini with UKBFF. Great.
Yeah.
I was so tiny. And then I think I took 2 years off, moved into fitness, did a couple of years in fitness, and then my figure debut was 2019 when I turned pro.
Hang on a minute. You did fitness? I don't remember that.
I did do fitness. Yeah, 2 shows. 2 shows. So I did UKBFF fitness.
Yeah.
In 2017, I was the only one in the category, obviously. And then I did 2018 Two Bros fitness, and I came 3rd that year.
Okay.
And then 2019 figure debut pro pod.
So. Okay. So now, obviously, we've got people like Missy Truscott who've kind of they've jumped back and forth. Would you? I mean, obviously, if you've got that dance background and you've got the whole ballet and you can do those kind of routines, that's a pretty good spot to be in. To maybe, would you ever consider jumping into? Well, you could do both. Why couldn't you do both? Like 2 shows in one season, different categories.
It definitely crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I think for me, basically, why I retired was I had a lot of problems with my shins. So for me, the impact and just actually doing the things, it's just old injuries, and it just wasn't conducive. I didn't enjoy it. It was bringing up old pain. And at the time, my coach said to me, like, you've got so much shape to your physique. Like, why don't you go into figure if you're having all these problems, like trying to do the fitness routine on top of the training, on top of the dieting. Yeah. It was the old injuries were flaring up, and it wasn't enjoyable. Yeah. But never say never.
Yeah, well, that's a good spot to be in, though, isn't it? I mean, it's like, Rob, you could maybe try wellness.
He's got the glutes for it.
Yeah. So Rob, I mean, I'm trying to think. I've got intermediate UKBFF when I saw you on stage How many years ago was that now, mate?
So yeah, the first year I ever competed was 2009, but that was for the BNBF, so Natural Federation.
Sorry. I had something in my throat there. Sorry. Sorry. You remember Spit the Dog? Remember Spit the Dog off the TV? No, sorry. That's not. American viewers not going to get that reference. Sorry.
And then in 2011 was the first time I competed in the UKBFF. Nice. So, yeah, the British finals 2011, I won the intermediates that year. Intermediate under 90 kilo.
Was that 10 years ago?
2011, yeah.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Because I remember you really stood out because you were just so big.
Yeah, on the day, I don't know if you remember, but Alex Bardashew actually won on the day. He won the class on the day.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, but then I think about 3 weeks later he got disqualified.
Yeah, I remember.
So I got boycotted into first place, should we say?
That's right. Yeah, because yeah. Sorry, I remember now. That was because that was the year Cecil Crowsdale won, didn't it? Didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was shooting that show for MD. I was covering it for MD.
Yes. Yeah.
So you won it by default. Well, you won it. You won it fair and square. No, because the guy. Okay.
The problem with Alex was he shouldn't have been in the intermediate class because he was a previous champion from the country he was from.
That's right.
So he should have been competing in the opens, not in the intermediates.
Yeah.
He was in the class.
And he would have been good enough to probably win his category as a light heavy as well, wouldn't he?
He was incredible at the time. Yeah, incredible. Yeah. He had a lot of potential. I don't really know what happened to him.
Yeah. So you obviously just kept going, and then I mean, you had what was your placings early this year? Because you tried a few times to get your pro card, didn't you? And you kind of getting thirds and fourths. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, because I got my British title in 2011. I then re-qualified for the British finals every year. I didn't do it every year. I took a year out. 2012, came back 2013 as a heavyweight. Came fifth in the heavyweights that year. Came back in 2014. That was probably my worst look on stage. I didn't look great then. Then took 2015 out. Came back 2016. I actually thought I was probably one of my best condition that I've ever been in 2016, but for some reason the judges didn't.
Hang on, I remember because you didn't get top 6, did you?
I didn't. I was in like the third call out. I didn't even get a sniff.
I remember I was there, mate. I was there, and you were going like, I remember you going, because I hate it when people do that on stage. But I was like, hang on a minute, why is he not? I was like, has he upset someone or? No, yeah. I remember. It was really, no, I'm being honest. I'm being truthful because I remember thinking, why is he not? I don't understand, because you kind of look like a pro amongst amateurs, and you didn't even get placed. And I was like, what the?
Yeah, I was gutted that year because I really did bring it that year. Neil Hill prepped me for the final like 8 weeks of that prep.
Yeah,
and he was dumbfounded. He wasn't at the show, but obviously as soon as I got off stage, I messaged him, and his words were, "What the fuck were the judges?"
Yeah, I think I might have said the same thing sat in the audience, mate. The judges probably heard me because I was sat right behind him taking pictures, mate.
Yeah, and even at the time, I mean, he wasn't as big a name as he is now. JP messaged me not long after I got off stage and was like, "Mate, you got absolutely screwed."
Yeah.
So it's one of them things. What's happened here, though?
Yeah. Oh, somebody calling you?
Our screen frozen then.
Okay.
So yeah, then my life kind of took a different kind of route, and I met someone from America, moved to America. Actually got married to the girl. Things didn't work out. So then I came back to the UK. While I was over there, I was still training hard, but I wasn't competing. Competing kind of wasn't on my radar at the time because I was trying to sort my private life out. And then obviously came back end of 18, and then 2019, once I got back in this country, I really could then focus back on my bodybuilding again. I started putting on more size, and with a view to do the Arnold Classic 2020, the Arnold Amateur last year, which I did. And I prepped with Milos Sarcev for that show.
That's right. Yeah, no, because I was there. I went to that, didn't I? Yeah, I took all sorts of videos and sent them to you. Yeah.
Came third in the super heavyweights there. That was a tough prep because there was a lot of things that was going on in the background that made that prep very tough.
Yeah.
I got ill. I was ill 3 times during that prep as well.
Were you?
Yeah, like three bad illnesses as well. So I was always playing catch up on that prep. So yeah, considering what was going on in the background of that prep, plus being ill 3 times, I was pretty happy with what I achieved. It wasn't as good as we'd hoped, but
so let's talk, because you're a bit short for a super.
I am,
but
yeah.
No, the reason I'm saying I'm going somewhere with this is how much over the heavyweights would you be? Because it's 100 kilo and under. I'm just wondering because if you're sort of like 225, it's like, look, maybe like Nathan D'Asher did, and he sucked it down to the heavyweights when he was 106 kilo and he came down to 99. Were you kind of on that cusp, or were you way over the heavyweight limit and it's just like, I've got to do the supers here?
Well, this is funny you should ask this question, Giles, because so Milos wanted to bring me in as big as freaky as possible.
Okay.
you know Milos.
I know Milos, yeah.
With his protocols. So that's the route we went down, and I weighed in at the Arnold the day before 245 pounds.
Oh shit! Okay, so you're 25 pounds over.
Yeah, I mean at the time of weighing, admittedly, I was carb loading. I was, there was a lot of food in me at the time. So by the time I got on stage, I would have probably been 236, 237, somewhere around there, just under 240.
Yeah.
I never weighed myself on show day, so I don't actually know. Then obviously COVID hit. So the plan was, if I didn't get my pro card at the Arnold, I was going to carry on competing that year and last year and hopefully get it at another show. But literally COVID lockdown happened straight after the Arnold. As we know, there was no shows, so that was the end of my competing for last year. Fast forward to this year, I started getting ready for the muscle. No,
muscle contest.
The Island show. The Island show, muscle contest.
Oh yeah.
In April, but that got postponed to December, so then I had to pull out of that prep and then kind of retarget for another show, which was Portugal.
Yeah.
Again, obviously with COVID and lockdown kind of still circulating, it was always a touch and go risk that if these shows were going to happen. But at the end of the day, you just, once you commit, you've got to commit.
You've done some long preps, because Scarlett, you said in Alicante, you said you've both been, because you're both you were in the pro in the figure. Rob was in the amateur, which he won, at the Alicante show. And you said, you said like 22 weeks prepping or something. So
I total 26, and you were just shy of that.
I was 22. Yeah.
Wow.
Longest prep ever.
Wow.
So back onto the question about super heavy and heavy.
Yeah.
So this prep, things go full circle. I teamed back up with my first ever coach, James Llewellyn. Me and him are good friends. We go back.
Nice.
Well, he prepped me for my first ever natural show.
Yeah.
He prepped me for my first couple of shows of, my first few years of competing, and kind of back together. So we was together for this prep for the Portugal and Spain. As we were getting close to Portugal, my weight was coming down nice and slowly. And I said to him, I was like, do you reckon we can like really suck this down and get me in the heavies? And he actually laughed and said, the heavies are long behind you, mate. You know, yeah. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So we'll keep going. And then literally, I think it was 2 or 3 days out from the Portugal, we realised I could make heavyweights. So,
really?
Yeah. So in Portugal, I actually made the heavies. I competed as a heavyweight in Portugal.
Did you? Okay. This is news to me.
Yeah. I was actually a kilo under. So I weighed in with a kilo to spare as a heavyweight. So I was in the
Hang on a minute. So the Arnold Classic with me lost the year before, you were like weighing at 245, and then you're going to a year later to Portugal weighing in at 218.
So if you want it in kilos, in the Arnold Classic, I weighed in at 200
pounds.
Whoa.
No,
kilo.
Sorry, 100. Fucking hell.
245 and 218. Come on.
111 kilo. I weighed in at the Arnold,
Shit.
which is 245.
Yeah.
And Portugal, a year later, well, just over a year later, so not that long ago, I was 101 kilo. So 10 kilos.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, which look do you prefer then? I mean, which suited you better, do you think?
I was definitely better this year than last year.
Okay. So what did you weigh in Alicante?
Right. Here's
another story.
322 pounds with shredded glutes.
Gravity, like his body is just completely crazy.
I think there's some alien DNA going on there, mate.
So in Portugal, I came second in the heavyweights. The guy that actually beat me, he went on to win the first overall in Portugal. He was a great bodybuilder. So then obviously me and James were like, okay, 3.5 weeks later was Alicante. 3.5 weeks later, heavyweights, let's go again. So my weight climbed a little bit in between because we kind of fed up a little bit because it was still 3.5 weeks away.
Yeah.
And then to bring me back down ready for the show. The day of weigh-in in Alicante was Wednesday. The show wasn't until Saturday.
Okay.
So it was a good while. The weigh-in was a good few days before I was actually stepping on stage. Unfortunately, it happened to be the day we were flying out.
Okay. Oh, shit.
I know it's only a short flight, but I do suffer quite bad with water retention on flights. And the day before we flew out, I was just over the weight limit.
Okay.
So
shit. Yeah.
I said, James, okay, look, what I'll do, because we were leaving at the Cracker Sparrows like first thing in the morning. So we was up at like 2:00 in the morning to be able to catch a flight at Stansted. So then once I landed at Alicante, we literally drove straight to registration. So by the time we got to registration, we'd been up well over like 12 hours.
Yeah, it was a good 10 to 12 hours we've been up.
And I hadn't eaten a thing since the day before. I was just sipping tiny amounts of fluid because I wanted to make sure I was going to make weight.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I turns up registration and steps on the scales, and it fucking said 2 kilos over.
Oh shit! Okay.
And I looked to the guy and I went, "Are these scales right?" And he looked at me and went, "Yeah, mate. Trust me, they're right."
Oh, no.
So, okay, let me strip my clothes off then, down to my underwear.
Yeah.
Hoping that I was going to have 2 kilos of clothes on. And it made a little bit of difference, but no, I was over. And by this point, mate, I was so tired, I was dehydrated, I was starving.
So what was that like for you then, Scarlett? Competing in a pro show and you got your partner competing in the amateur. What's that like, having your attention divided like that?
I think for both of us, this prep, it was obviously you support each other, and I wanted, like, I've not known Rob competitively. Like, he's been competing for so many years, and I only know from what he tells me as to how hard he's tried. So being together and doing this prep together, like, I needed this for him so badly. Like, he had to get this pro card. So you're so invested in one person, but at the same time, you're trying to concentrate on your pro debut as well. So it was difficult. But thankfully, obviously, the shows were amateur then pro. So it was a case of Rob's day, then my day.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Oh, it's not too bad. Not too bad.
That. But it was just trying to kind of prep, support each other, and do your same thing at the same time. It had its challenges for sure. Yeah. But obviously, when you're with someone that you adore dearly, you just want that person to thrive. So it was just a case of suck up the bad moments and just push on.
Hang on, you adored him even after 26 weeks of prep? No, our nose is growing. Right. So what is next for the two of you then? Because I mean, you're going to do the same show, or you're going to do separate shows. How does this work out? And what does the dog think about it?
What does the dog?
Sorry, I got to bring. I'm trying to shoehorn the dog in because it's a very famous dog.
Leslie, come here.
I think
he's got his own Instagram account.
Waiting for the calendar to be released next year.
Okay.
We've kind of very loosely spoke about it. Here she is. She's going to come and say hi.
Oh, wow.
Letty Bets.
What you did.
She's got her own. We'll bring up the dog's Instagram account, and because we do follow.
Well, I think upon speaking very briefly, we've not really gone into too much information because we said we're taking the rest of the year off. Let's just enjoy each other and just enjoy life. But prep, obviously, like I mentioned, it did get quite difficult. So whether we do the same show, we're not too sure. It might be more conducive for each of us to maybe be on prep at the same time, but not aim for the same show as such. But it depends on the calendar. Obviously, if there's European shows, there's not that many of them. So sometimes we might have to, now we're both in the Pro League, we might have to prep for the same show. But I think we'd try and kind of maybe alter it as much as possible so we can solely focus on one, solely focus on the other. Because trying to compete at the same show at the same time was quite hard, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was, because it's a very selfish sport, isn't it? And although you want to be there for each other as much as possible, your own goal it takes over, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so we're there to help and support each other, but you're in the trenches so deep yourself that it's hard to be there for that other person when you see what I mean?
I think there's benefits and disadvantages, isn't there? Because I've spoke to Brett Wilkin and Ivana Vucic. I've spoke to who's the other one? Renee Jewett and John Jewett. You know, and some say, there's good things and there's bad elements of it. You know, so it's I suppose it's just maybe the more you do and the more you plus a 26-week prep. I mean, you know, you're going to have to be it's going to get tiring, isn't it, towards the end, you know, and you're going to start snapping and, you know, and...
Last kind of month, wasn't it? It was just Groundhog Day over and over and plus you're just tired, hungry, and there are moments when you breathe the wrong way and you get annoyed, and then when you feel absolutely great with each other. So we just take it as it came.
Yeah.
But maybe thinking about it, I don't know if you agree. Like now you're kind of in the pro league, whoop.
Yeah.
Or your kind of outlook and how you approach the next show now will be completely different to chasing that pro card, because you know that you've achieved that goal. So it might be an easier process for both of us because we're in the pond now. We're both in it together, so we can just kind of dive in, no expectations, and just kind of push rather than going, I have to get my pro card. There's almost less pressure in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Go on.
Did she ever sort of let you know that you weren't a pro and she was at points, maybe, so it's like, well, I've got a pro card, you don't, you've been trying for years. I got mine a couple of years ago, so did she ever rub it in or or?
I never did that, did I?
He messaged me, he said you did.
If she did, it just
Giles is shit now.
Oh, I'm sorry guys. I'm just because I'm so familiar with you because I know you both, and I've known Rob for years, and also Rob, you've been I've got to say this, you've been a very loyal viewer of Global Muscle from the start, and I always appreciate the messages and right from the very, very start a couple of years ago, so I do appreciate that, mate.
Yeah, no, and and back at you, Giles. You do an incredible job, mate. Your podcast is very, very professional, which I love. You keep it about bodybuilding, and you don't skewer off into all of the wacky, subjects.
Do sometimes, right? You obviously haven't watched most of them.
So no, you do. To be featuring on your show now, it's an honour, mate, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you. No,
well, it's fully deserved because it's so cool. Like I said, when I was out there, and it was nice to kind of be involved in that sort of share that kind of joy, because I was filming everything. I've filmed all your routine with my phone. When you won, I was like, oh, it's fantastic, because I knew what it would mean to you, and when it came down to you and France, well, in the overall and everything, and it was just like, he could get his pro card, he could win this, I was like, it was really exciting to be there, and I was really happy I was there to kind of, witness that, and it was fantastic.
I could hear both you and Lauren, me, mate. So having you guys in the crowd, and obviously Scarlett there shouting my name, screaming my name, just hearing just you three, cheering me on was incredible. So thank you for that as well, both of you. I really do appreciate the support.
It's our pleasure, guys. So, well, I wanted to get you on and just congratulate you officially on Global Muscle. And and it's always an interesting dynamic when couples are both pros, and I always want to find out, the ins and outs, and maybe stir the shit a little bit as well. So, no, I'm joking. Just want to acknowledge that, and all the best for next year. I think maybe you should consider doing jumping between fitness and figure. I mean, it's a great option, isn't it? Really.
Who knows, Giles? I might just kind of come in with a bang next year.
Oh, not your Achilles.
No, not the exam. Pick up some routine, just come straight back in, not tell anyone anything.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, and we'll see Rob at some bizarre body weight, because 180 or 380 or something. He's just I
didn't quite finish about my bodyweight story. So basically, I weighed in as a super at Alicante, but by the time I got on stage, I was a heavyweight. So I won the supers because I basically dropped that weight, not intentionally. Me and James, we intended to actually put on size and fill me up, but I kept losing weight.
Okay.
Age on show day, I was light enough to be in the heavies.
God. Oh well, it all worked out in the end. Remember when Cecil Crowsdale in that 2011, he was 101 kilo. So he was one. He obviously wanted to come in as a heavyweight, but he was one, and he still won the overall and got his pro card. So there you go. Yeah. Same happened to you 10 years later.
Yeah.
Amazing stories here on Global Muscle. So okay then, guys, I'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Maybe take the lovely dog for a walk. All the best for the future. And obviously, we'll be bumping into each other at the because obviously you do the Ashley tour. So maybe hopefully see you at the one down south. At Crayford.
Crayford Weights and Fitness, the place to be.
Oh, it's the place to be. Yep. Okay then, guys. I'll see you soon. And thank you so much for coming on MD Glove Muscle.
Thank you so much, Giles.
Cheers, Giles.
Cheers. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Glove Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles. And we're joined all the way from Ottawa, Canada, Joe Seeman.
What's up, guys?
Joe.
Happy to be on the show again.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, mate, honestly, because we've had you on a couple of times, and I'm a bit blown away, mate, by these pictures I keep seeing, all these progress pictures. I'm thinking, is he photoshopping these or what?
Well, they're definitely not photoshopped, but I'm really confident with how things are looking this year because I know I've put on more new muscle compared to last year, and I feel like my conditioning is coming in even better. So I'm pretty confident coming into the Arnolds with how I'm looking.
So let's just give a bit of a recap. It was 2019 you turned pro, and then you got fourth in the Toronto, correct? Was that 2018?
Yeah.
2019.
That was 2019, yeah.
Wow, gosh, that seems so long ago now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's only been just over 2 years, but it does seem like it's been a while, I guess, with like all that's gone on and doing a few shows last year as well. So on the pro circuit, so it definitely feels like it's been longer than 2 years, but I feel like I've made a lot of pretty big improvements since that. So I'm confident. People are going to see that this year.
Oh, honestly, mate, I was like, whoa! I was like, what is he doing? So 2019. I mean, you started off out the gate really, really strong. And I mean, you got fourth place and your condition, everything was incredible. And then 2020, it kind of didn't go as planned, did it? It kind of didn't, it went a bit, I was a bit shocked, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. Like I was saying this to my girlfriend the other day and she was saying it too. She's like, last year, like when I started my prep to do the California Pro, I was actually training out of a garage because I didn't have access to a gym. So until I was about 12 weeks out, I didn't even have gym access for that prep. So I was training out of a garage for like about 3 months and then finally got in the gym at 12 weeks out. And, compared to this year, where like my whole prep, my whole off season, I've had a gym. And even more recently, the gym I've been going to is just such a great atmosphere. And this prep, I've had a training partner the whole time as well. So I've had someone in the gym every time to push me and make me train even harder than I was training last year. So like I've definitely noticed the benefit of having someone there with me and having a good training atmosphere to really be able to push to that next level because I wanted to, showcase something a lot better. And I'm trying to, implement whatever little variables I can to, make those improvements. But also for me, like I saw Ian Valliere, like he had a training partner. And so that kind of sparked my thought to be like, I should get a training partner too, because Ian's obviously progressing all the time. So yeah. I should do the same.
See, all that aside, I think it's like with Derek Lunsford dropping down to fourth last year. Like Ronnie Coleman getting beat in 2002. Sometimes having a bit of a setback year, or a bit of a knockback year, where you really go into a show with and you've made all these improvements, and it doesn't kind of go as planned, and then all of a sudden it just gives that fire. I think that's the mark of a true champion, one that really goes right. Okay, I'm really going to get my shit together now and really turn it on, because you can see you've been obviously working, aside from the fact that you've had a gym to train at, you've really, I mean, it's stunning the improvements you've made.
Yeah, and like I agree with you there. It's like, sometimes you need to get a little bit, I guess humbled in a sense. And like for me, last year was my first, I guess, real pro season. And, we all know, like, if you're new on the scene, sometimes you can get overlooked a bit too, if it's like, close, whatever it is. So I had to factor that into the equation of, trying to make improvements so that I can stand out more, because I can't just sort of blend into the crowd. I need to be able to stand out and, get people to recognize me. So that kind of lit a fire under my butt to, make even better improvements, even aside from, having the gym and the training partner and everything else. So.
What is it with these Canadians? They are strong AF. Seriously.
I don't know. I honestly, I just got back into deadlifting like after my last show last year. And I hadn't done them in the longest time, but then I started to get strong at them pretty fast. And I think it's like a competitive thing. Like we see each other doing the lifts. Like I see guys like James and Ian and all these other guys like lifting crazy amounts of weight, and it made me want to do it too, because I'm like, they have great physiques, they have great density, that grainy look, and I know it only training like that and training heavy like that has only helped my physique this year. So like I think it's kind of like I'm doing it because it's fun, but at the same time I know it's helping to add the right element to my physique to make it better. So
you're 2 weeks out from the Arnold UK. What was the reason for being in Canada and choosing one show that's so far away?
I don't know. Like, I think I saw it as a good opportunity because I haven't really had a chance to compete against as many guys over in Europe as, you know, I have in like North America and Canada and the US. So I saw it as an opportunity to kind of like, you know, travel for one, and then two, to compete at a fairly prestigious show as well. So, you know, I just put in my application and got accepted, which I was really happy about. And I also wanted to wait until later in the year to compete. So it just lined up well with wanting to do that and then doing some shows afterwards as well.
Oh, so you just led on to my next question. You said shows afterwards. Can you tell us anything? Expand on that?
I definitely plan on doing the Toronto Pro, which is beginning of December.
Yep.
And I might do a show in between that. There's the Legion Muscle Fest is I think 3 weeks after the Arnold UK, and it's in Nevada. So I might do that one as well. I haven't decided fully, but I might do that one as well.
If you're coming all the way to UK to do a show, you know we've got Rome, the Yamamoto. We've got Romania. We've got Prague would be a good one, mate.
Yeah.
Come on, there's Alicante. Maybe just come over and, you know, just... Would you... I mean, if you're going to come all that way for this show, why not come back a few weeks later and do another one? I mean, what have you got to lose?
Yeah, I have to factor in my girlfriend only has so much vacation time, so I have to kind of pick the shows based on that too. So I got to keep that in mind because I need someone to travel with me. So
yeah,
it's difficult to travel that far by yourself doing shows. So
are you excited to do the first ever Arnold Classic in the UK in 2 weeks' time?
Yes, I'm very excited, and honestly, I can't wait to do it because, you know, things are starting to come, like, you know, things are coming together at the right time as they, you know, as expected, and I'm just, you know, focusing on the day in front of me and doing what I need to do that day to, you know, get prepared for the next day and just taking it one day at a time. And, you know, I'm excited to leave, and I leave in a week, so I'm excited to, you know, travel out there, have a few days to settle in, and then, you know, get on stage and do my thing.
So where are you going to be staying then, mate? Not exact address, like, but...
Well, I'm staying in Birmingham. I got like an Airbnb there. I don't think it's too far. I think it's about maybe a 15-minute drive from where the venue is, so it's not too far out. Yeah, and I got like a rental car. My girlfriend's gonna drive around, even though it's the opposite side of the road for us. But we're gonna work with it.
No, it's the right side of the road. That's what we're on. We're on the correct one. So if you want a good gym to train at, Ultimate Fitness 2 in the centre of Birmingham. If you go there, I'll come down and see you and film you.
Okay. Ultimate Fitness?
Ultimate Fitness 2. It's the old owner of Simon Fan, the old owner of Temple Gym. It is, I mean, Jay Cutler's trained there on the tours. We took Phil Heath there. Phil loved it. So I'll WhatsApp the address over and I'll message Simon and I'll give you his number because it's a really good gym and it's a really good atmosphere and it's right in the centre of Birmingham.
Perfect. I'll train there then when I'm there. That sounds good.
Oh, sorted it. No, Simon, because we do the tours in Birmingham. I always go to that one gym because I've been friends with Simon for years, and that's a really, really good one. And if they've got a lot of video crews as well that probably want to film you for the gym as well. So it's good promo.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I posted that in my story the other day. I was trying to see if people had some ideas, and I got a few different ones. And I'm like, yeah, I just want to make sure I have a good gym to train at for those few days, especially being in Birmingham. I know there's a few gyms that like people always talk about, so it'd be cool to check them out, and I'm definitely going to go to that one too for sure.
Fantastic. It's a shame the old Temple Gym's not there because I mean you've got to, if you're you know any bodybuilder worth of salt has got to go there. I mean you probably would have been shocked, but it's obviously not there anymore, so that's sad. But Ultimate Fitness, fantastic gym, you will love it, mate. Absolutely love it. So going to the Arnold Classic, have you looked at the lineup? Are you aware of these people, or do you know anything about them, or are you just focusing on yourself?
Honestly, like I briefly, like, you know, I've looked at the lineup briefly, but like I haven't really been, like, to be honest, I haven't been closely following every single guy that's doing the show because, like, you know, like it's not something I usually worry about. It's like I know most of the guys that are doing it, and I do follow a lot of them on social media, but I'm not like following them super closely to see how they look per se. Like, you know, you see their pictures here and there, and you know, I haven't seen anything that's like, you know, makes me think I can't do very well in the lineup. So like for me, it just, you know, seeing any of the pictures at all just like reassures me to keep pushing hard, and you know, you can do well. That's the way I look at it, because I don't really get worried about who else is doing the show. You know, I think the only person that would have had me worried was Nathan Diasha, but he's not doing it, so that's that makes it, you know, a different story when he's because he won't be doing the Arnold UK. But other than that, like there's not really any like guys who have been top 10 in the Olympia or anything like that. So it's a wide open show. So it's really exciting to be part of a show that's new. It's wide open. It's prestigious, and you know, I'm sure all these guys are going to be bringing a great look too. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Mate, if these improvements that I've been seeing on social media for the last few weeks translate to what we see on stage, you're going to be in discussions for the win, mate.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
Like,
It's true.
you know, like I don't like to think about it too much, I guess, but like I know as long as if I keep taking it one day at a time, like I have been, and just make those improvements as I need to leading into the day of the show, that it's very, very good possibility that I could be right in the winner's circle and battling for that top spot. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, I said it last week. I mean, on the hot news, and also it's always very impressive when you can see someone's upper pecs in a raidable bicep.
Yeah.
You do a raidable bicep. Remember, like I said last week on Chris Cormier, when he used to do his front lat spread and he put his legs apart, you could see his hamstrings from the front. They were that thick. So with you,
Yeah.
I can see your upper pecs and your raidable bicep. That's that. I'm trying to think. There's only Marcus Rule and a couple of other bodybuilders I've ever seen that. So that's bloody impressive, right?
Yeah. No, thank you.
a bit random that one, I know, but yeah. So Joe, I'm really excited to see this new version of you, because like I said, I can see what you've been doing. I've kept a close eye on it, you know, and it's really glaring, you know, what you've done in this last year, and I think it's a real testament to your kind of, you know, your determination and your work ethic, and you know, and where your career is going.
No, I think so too, and like that's really what I wanted to do this year, was just be able to, you know, take that step forward in that direction that I want to be in, with like getting into the first call outs and, you know, getting that recognition, getting people to actually see me and be like, oh crap, like he is, you know, one of these top guys that deserves to be in these call outs. And it's funny because like I remember last year I was comparing like, you know, where my body weight was at like so many weeks out, and I'm just like thinking like, you know, you kind of think you'd end up being around the same, but like this year I'm definitely a bit heavier than I was last year. And it's funny because like you're expecting your weight to be going down a certain amount, and then you're like, oh wait, it's kind of staying around this. And so I'm about, by the looks of it, I'm like 7 pounds heavier than I was last year coming into this year. So
what are you sitting at the moment, mate?
In the morning, I wake up around 270.
Jesus. Wow. Okay. That's okay. Yeah. Cause you're tall as well, aren't you? You're quite tall.
What's that, sorry?
You're quite tall as well.
5'10", yeah.
270 at 5'10", and I've seen your condition, mate. I mean, even at 4 weeks out, I'd be super happy with conditioning like that. You know, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would guess like I'll probably end up competing in the mid 260s, like on the day of the show.
Wow.
You know, because last year I was around like 260-ish, but I feel like my conditioning will be a little bit better, and in the new added size. So I think that's going to translate on stage as well.
Oh, mate. Do you know what? I think it was really smart doing this Arnold UK. I think it was a very bold move, and I think it's going to really pay off, mate. I really do.
No, I think so too. It was like you know, kind of like a shot in the dark, like let's see what happens kind of thing, and an opportunity to travel just because I've never been to the UK before. So I kind of did it for a few reasons, and you know, I'm really glad I did. And you know, I'm excited to get out there. You know, like now that it's getting close, I'm really starting to think about it more, and it's got me excited. You know, I'm ready to just dial this in and battle it out with these guys.
And also doing Toronto, you've got a good history with that show and a good connection. You know, that's where you turn pro. That's where you got fourth, and You know, I mean, I remember when I saw the pictures and you stood in the lab. It's that readable bicep and just the separation and quality. It's like you look different to the other guys, you know. And you were literally like just a day before, 2 days before, you were an amateur, you know. So it's good to go back to the shows where you've got kind of positive attachments to. Yeah,
no, and it's true. And I know just being in Canada and like going and competing, you know, against the guys that are out here as well, and you know, being in front of judges that know you and all that is other stuff, and just the fact that the show is just so close to home for me. You know, it's only like a 4-hour drive away. So for me, it's just like it makes it very hard not to want to do it. You know, it's so close to home, and I know I can do well in that show as well. So it's like it's hard to pass it up. You know, regardless of what happens at the Arnold's, I would still do that show. Even if I won at the Arnold's, I would still do Toronto as well because it's close to home, and I just really like doing that show.
How good for Canadian bodybuilding would it be if Chris Bumstead wins the Olympia again, which he probably is, if Ian Valliere won the Arnold America, and then you go and win the Arnold UK, how cool would that be?
That would definitely put Canada on the map as one of the the best bodybuilding countries, that's for sure, because I don't think we've ever seen that many Canadian champions at once.
Yeah, it's incredible. Honestly, there's every chance that could play itself out that way.
Yeah.
He's thinking about it now. It's like, yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, for real though. Yeah.
Right, Joe, I'm going to let you go because I really appreciate the fact you're even giving interviews 2 weeks out. So thank you so much for doing that. And I'm really excited to see, you know, on stage at the Arnold UK, mate. I mean, it's I'm rooting for you, you know. So
thank you.
You know, so
oh man, I can't wait, and I appreciate you asking me to come on today. It's you know, it's always nice to come on and chat with you guys, and especially before the shows, like leading into them, because I like watching these of like the other guys you interview too. So, you know, I appreciate you having me on, and you know, I'm looking forward to competing in 2 weeks.
And I'll come down to Ultimate Fitness, and we'll come and see you when you're there. We're there because honestly, you'll get a really good welcome there, and you know they've got all everything you need. So it's right in the city centre, and Simon Fan and his team and his friends are a really good bunch of guys, and it's a really good hardcore gym with fantastic equipment. You'll love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I can't wait. That's going to be fun.
and obviously, anything you need, you know, in the area, like just say to Simon, and he'll look after you because he's one of us. He's a true bodybuilding fan, you know. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right then, Joe. All the best for the next few weeks, mate, and all the best, obviously, for the Toronto as well. And just keep doing what you're doing, mate.
Thank you.
All right, Joe.
All right.
Speak to you soon, mate.
Care.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys, it is Hot News segment for episode 34, season 4, 114, for the spicy hot news. Right, I'm feeling giddy today. I think it's because there's so many shows coming up. We've got the Arnold UK, the Arnold America, got the bloody Olympia. I mean, the Arnold and the Olympia being so close together. I was against it at first, but do you know what? Kind of feeling the excitement on this one now. So, I mean, really, like for bodybuilding fans, it's like being Harry Potter in that one shop. What's it called? The one where the chooses you or whatever. The reason I'm talking about this is because I was finally thumbscrewed and tortured into watching all the Harry Potter films, and I am glad I did because I absolutely bloody loved it. Really good films. A lot of Star Wars parallels. If you look. And also, guys, if you're watching with your girlfriend, it's not even as a joke, don't say, I can't believe this was written by a woman, because it won't go down well. You will be in trouble. Trust me on this. So, anyway, right, okay, I'm going to go to our hot news, because obviously there's so much hot news. My God, I had to really, really condense it down today, otherwise I'll be talking for hours. Yeah, the first one is Dorian Hamilton. He's made a comeback, basically. This is the CEO of HD Muscle, who just bloody everyone is with. I mean, they've got a huge team. You see him around quite a lot, don't you still? Yeah, a lot of the huge teams. And he's made a comeback. I don't know after how many years. It'll say here. Hang on. 5 years he's been away. Hang on, let's put some sound on. Okay, there's no sound on that. All right, okay. Let's put it. Hang on. Oh, I tell you what, he looks good, doesn't he? So I think he got... Hang on. There we go. Oh, that's pointless listening to that. Yeah, so basically he's just done the Canadian National Qualifier. Where did he place? Canadian National Pro qualifier. Very happy with what I was able to accomplish in 15 weeks after being away from competitive bodybuilding for 5 years. And he's made obviously his thing is his conditions kind of got to be good because he's a coach, you know? So what a lovely physique though. I mean, that's a little bit like Jason Hebert. That's a very similar kind of physique. I mean, nice symmetry, good condition. I'm guessing he was a light heavyweight there. He looks like a 90 kilo, but what a fantastic physique. I had no idea Dorian had such a great physique. So, I mean, obviously, yeah, so he's, I think did he get second, that Canadian? I mean, he can't be, I've seen bodybuilders not as good as that, getting pro cards. So, well, it's true. So, my point is he must be close. So, God, lovely physique, really lovely physique. Looks a bit like Coach Abdullah in the face. What if they could do a little contest together? To battle of the coaches. Yeah, so, well, he's more a bodybuilder and Abdullah's more of pretty boy men's physique, isn't he? So, yeah, look at that. Perfect symmetry. I tell you what, that's a really, really nice physique, that. Fair play to you. And obviously, it really helps when coaches, kind of walk the walk as well. I mean, people like myself, like in the media, like I've competed. I've done 14 shows, look respectable for a few times, and it does actually, even though, like I'd been writing for magazines 9 years before I competed, and I kind of was very well established, but, there's that small pocket of people that will always be kind of, how does he think he is? He doesn't even compete, he trains or whatever. But I tell you what, so my point is, there is a point, is that it really adds credibility to him, his coaching, and also his supplement brand as well. So I think it really that's not him, is it? That's Regan Grimes. Hang on, is he prepping? Hang on, did I know this? Dorian Hamilton prepping Regan Grimes. What, is this a new thing? Or am I just having a brain fart here or something? So, yeah, obviously, yeah, because obviously Regan Grimes from Canada, Dorian Hamilton from Canada. Yeah, I can see how this has come around. I feel like, have I known about this for years, or is this a recent thing? Anyway, right, okay, so yeah, 3.5 weeks out from the Olympia, because obviously Regan Grimes won Romania last year. Big Vlad Suhorochko, also doing the Olympia this year, was second to him. And that's right, and Mohamed Elaman was fourth. I literally can't remember who was third. But yeah, it looks like he's made some, Regan Grimes looks like he's made some good gains there. I'm sure he posted some, let's actually go to his account. So I didn't know this was on here, actually. This is just news to me. But yeah, he put some pictures up comparing how he was looking last year. Yeah, this is the one, yeah. So, yeah, yeah. So that's Olympia last year where Regan did. And yeah, he's looking a lot bigger there. I mean, it's hard though sometimes by the time they actually get to the stage, will he still look that big and full? But yeah, I think there's an indication that he's made some good gains there. Yeah, it is. No, it looks good. I like Regan, but he's kind of, I think he's only about 20, still only in his late 20s. But here's a guy that when he really kind of 1.6 million followers. Holy shit. Why did they have so many followers? Is it because he's a pretty boy? If that's the case, why don't I have 1.6 million followers? Okay. Just crickets there. So, what am I pressing? I'm not pressing anything there. Yeah, so Regan Grimes has been prepped by Dorian Hamilton. So it'll be interesting to see what that brings this year because, so I was talking about Dorian Hamilton. We've gone off to Regan Grimes. Right. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So it's fantastic. So Dorian's obviously very close to getting his pro card there. So keep going, mate. You're looking fantastic. What a fantastic physique. So, and also good luck to Regan Grimes doing the Olympia. Maybe one day you'll come on Global Muscle. Actually, maybe answer my DMs. So, but you didn't hear that from me. Right. Okay, we're going to go to Samson Dowda, the British pro, the Nigerian Lion, they call him. So I want to get that right. So he's doing the Arnold UK next week. And he's now working with Milos. Oh. Yeah, Milos. In fact, I'm not going to mention the person's name, but he messaged me yesterday when I was out buying Star Wars and Batman comics, and he said, "Can you ask Milos why he's only got Samson on 3 eggs for breakfast and that's it?" So I was like, "I'm not going to ask him that. What are you talking about?" So yeah, so Samson, this is the trouble area. This is the problem area for Samson. he kind of really needs to get those dialed in to really kind of give himself the best chance of success. Because I tell you what, when Samson really nails that conditioning to fullness with his symmetry and his shape and his presentation, he's going to be a force. I mean, he was second place to Nathan Diashu at the British Grand Prix in 2019. And he wasn't exactly, he wasn't getting blown off the stage by Nathan. Obviously, Nathan, like the UK's number one, won, 7 pro shows, 7th at Olympia. But he's looking for the win at they all are. He's looking for the win at the British Grand Prix in a couple of weeks' time. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he's been up to in the last year, because obviously last year was disastrous for him with, being the hotel room quarantine and not being able to get to Tampa, I think it was. And you talk about luck. I mean, this guy had none last year. And obviously that was during a very stressful year for everyone. But obviously now there's no restrictions and he's been able to train, and now he's working with Milos. It's fingers crossed for Samson, because we love Samson. I remember when he only turned pro 4 years ago. It feels like he's been around for years. But I remember because he took 5th. I remember the conversation I had with somebody very high up in bodybuilding. And he took 5th place at the British finals that year. It was won by James Hollinshead. No, it wasn't 5th. Third. Jamie the Giant was 5th. No, I've just made that up. Yes, so anyway, I think it was 5th. And then he went and won the Diamond Cup a few weeks later. And someone said, I think they're giving away pro cards too easy. Is Samson even at pro level yet? And I look a couple of years later, he's took 2nd place at the British Grand Prix. He's took 2nd at the Korea Pro. And he's had some good placings in some very, very big pro shows. And now he's with Hostile. Lovely shape. I mean, Samson is, I wouldn't say British Flex Wheeler, but I mean, his calves look good there. His calves have come up. But this is, I know this is probably 3-4 weeks out, but I would like to see that a little bit tighter. I think maybe he's one of these guys that holds a lot of water. Like if you look at Justin Rodriguez, you look at him 2 weeks or 4 weeks out and you'd think, mate, when are you starting dieting? Seriously, it'd be like, it's that extreme how far out of condition they look, and then they just pull it together on show day. I'm hoping Samson's going to do the same, and I'm hoping Milos is really going to find that formula and bring him in as full as he was in 2019 at the British Grand Prix with just condition that we've actually yet to see on Samson. But he's a fantastic athlete, and he's just one of these guys. He's just got to keep working, keep pushing. I mean, I tell you what, I like these teasy shots like this because I would like to see him harder though. I don't know. I'm hoping he really brings it in because he's an athlete. We're all kind of after last year. We're kind of really rooting for this guy, So it would be sensational for him because he's capable of pulling the win at the Arnold UK. I think it's going to be between him, Tim Buddersheim, Joe Seeman. Got Jamie the Giant as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. So if Samson really nails it, he could be taking away his first pro win in front of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So maybe he'll get on Arnold's TikTok. So and our next shouter is the aforementioned Jamie the Giant. He keeps changing his name. He's Jamie. Oh, he's not changed it there. Jamie Christian. Because he was Jamie Christian Johal, of his stepdad. But now he's changed it back to his original name of Jamie Christian Big. So, yes. What was the placings Jamie had this year? What was it? I've got it. It was, I can't remember now. Well, he was 4th in the British Grand Prix last year, which was a very good placing for Jamie. I can't remember. My mind's gone blank. What did he get this year? He's competed this. Oh, he did Puerto Rico. That's right. He went to Puerto Rico. Didn't make top 6, but he did look very, very good. No, did he make top 6? No, didn't make top 6. I think it was like 9th or something. But and I think he felt like it was a bit of a step back for him. But Jamie's one of those guys. I mean, this guy's 6'5", 6'5", and he's only. I think he was weighing. What was he weighing here? He's very transparent about his body weights and preps and all that. So 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out from the Arnold UK. I think he's been quite, he's been ill, hasn't he? He's had some sort of infection or something. What are you pulling faces at? Are you dissing Jamie? Jamie knows where we live. Yeah. So I don't want to mess with him. Do you remember when he came in? He had to duck. He's huge. He's huge, isn't he? He's like a real life superhero. I mean, honestly, if I was Jamie, I'd just be walking around in a cape all day long. And you know what? And people wouldn't even bat an eyelid because it'd be like, oh, well, obviously that guy's wearing a cape because obviously he's a superhero. So, do you know what? Do you ever think what it'd be like if they actually cast, say he went and he got acting lessons and he got an opportunity. Imagine if someone like Jamie became like Superman or something like that. Even in like a TV series or something, like someone, because you think 6'5", 300 pounds with 34-inch waists. I mean, it would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? But I suppose he'd always have to be that size, though, wouldn't he, if he wanted to keep playing the character? But then again, the Hulk did it, Lou Ferrigno. So yeah, he was bloody Hulk for like 20 years or something. God, I'm digressing today. We like to digress. It's good. It's good for your. It's good for the thought processes. So I'm just wondering if he's made improvements. I mean, he always does his pictures when he's flat and depleted in the mornings, and then when you actually when he shows a video when he's just trained, it's like he's gained 20 pounds. So and I like Jamie's physique. He's very aesthetic, and he's got his conditioning is awesome. The quality of the separation, the shoulder to waist, I mean, is just ridiculous. He's very flat there, isn't he? He looks very flat there. He's had his teeth done, look.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Do you think so? I don't like it when they go too white. When it looks too... Yeah. Look at him, yeah. Nathan D'Asher. Who's got the best teeth in bodybuilding? Nathan D'Asher's. Nathan D'Asher's. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so could Jamie win the Arnold? Be honest. But also bear in mind he knows where we live.
I think he is close, but I think I need to...
Just a simple yes or no will do. No, not yet. Okay, well, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if... she's got better teeth. That's his wife. Have they just had their teeth done?
Maybe.
Oh. She's got the microblading thing. A lot of girls getting that, aren't they? With this like a trend, isn't it? With
You know what that is.
What? Is that microblading?
Yeah.
Did I get that right? See? Yeah, see, I'm not... Thing is, obviously, when you just roll out of bed looking like this, you don't have to worry about things like eyebrows and... Shut up, Giles. Yeah, on a talk show, it's just call it Shut Up, Giles. Yeah, so anyway, it's not a huge amount. Is that a video or... Come on, show us some... No, he's not putting videos up. He's... I'm just wondering... it's hard to tell how he's looking. I can't tell. I mean, he preps a lot of people, and he's a very knowledgeable guy. So I imagine he knows what he's doing, and he will bring. And hopefully, we will see. I just want to see the best version of him at the British Grand Prix. Is his quads bigger? Somebody said his quads are bigger. I'm trying to think if they are. His quads are huge. My God, it's funny to think. In 2012, he was a classic, and then 2015, he came and won the British finals, the super heavyweight, won the Zach Khan show, the UKFF one. He won that. He won the overall. And I remember everyone just raving about him because he was this new guy he'd he'd really come from nowhere because it was the first time he competed and I think he's now competing about 100 pounds heavier than when he was, is it 100 pounds? I think I've made that up. 100 Is it 100 pounds? I think I might have made that up. No, I think that's right. I'll check. Actually, he's got a picture of him when he was a classic. Have a look at this. Is that he was a classic? Yeah. That was 2012. Yeah, that's 2012. And he didn't compete. He looks like a kid. He looks like a boy. Yeah. Looks like Superboy. Now he's Superman. Isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, look at him. Look how young he looks. Oh, Jamie. Oh.
Looks like a muscle model.
A muscle. Yeah, pretty boy. Yeah. I mean, still pretty. I mean.
He looks really muscle model. Yeah.
Depending to it. Yeah, he's good. Look at the striations in his chest. Look at that. Oh, stripy chest. That's what you want. So, yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. He does look that's Clark Kent. I mean, come on. That's Clark Kent. That's young Clark Kent. That's when he's still in Smallville. And he's just about to leave. And the reason I said Smallville is because she'll know what that is.
I love Smallville.
Because she probably doesn't watch Man of... You watch Man of Steel and all that? And no, okay. Right, okay, yeah, so I just want to give... Oh, that's a good shot. When's that? That's an old one, isn't it? It's 5 weeks out there. Yeah. Oh, he looks good, doesn't he? I just love his physique. He's awesome. He's so awesome. So, and he's a really good guy, Jamie. And we're going to have to get you back in the studio because we had really good... Here we are. Sorry, I'm distracted again. This was, that was in Puerto Rico. So, yeah, there's Theo Leguerial. Yep. I think he's starting to get bored now of all my comments on his Instagram. And I put it in French. And it's really bad French. And I think it's wearing a bit thin now. It's like my old my Triple H ab story. Right, okay, Andrea Presti there. Here's another guy to watch out for. He's qualified. He's the first Italian in the Olympia since 1993. That was Mauro Sani. Mauro Sani. He was 13th place. And also Flavio Bascianini, the 4'11" guy, who was called out with Lou Ferrigno, who was 6'5". So we haven't, he's the first, Andrea Presti, first Italian in the Olympia Open, Mr. Olympia, since 1993. I'm just going to say something, but holy shit, look at the size of his shoulders. Look at it. I mean, I said it's cool if you can get your shoulders as big as your head, but his shoulders are actually bigger than his head. Look at that. Look at that. Measure it with your fingers. Look. Oh, I'll do it with the arrow. Right. It looks crazy. Yeah. So, Jamie, you're cool in my book, and please come to the studio again. We had such fun. So, eats a lot, doesn't he? You gotta. Well, I suppose you're going to be 300 pounds on stage. You can't be eating lettuce leaves. Right. Okay. Shit. Right. Our next shout out is actually we're not calling it shout outs anymore, are we? But I keep saying, I noticed on last episode, I watched it back and I said, our next shout out is, and I'm like making a big deal of it not being shout outs and it's hot news. So I think we'll just go with it. Right, okay, Rob Cannon. Rob Cannon, 26. Why is he calling him? He's not 26. I know that for a fact. Unless he started competing when he was 11. So, so Rob Cannon, who we just had on with his lovely lady, Scarlett Hollands, Figure Pro. And this was in Alicante. Oh, no, he's crying. He was so emotional when he won, wasn't he? He was so, because it was such a big deal for him, and I think it was such a long road for him, 10 years, and he had so many near misses and thirds and fourths and seconds, and he's really been traveling a lot to try and get his pro card, and he finally got it in a huge show, like the NPC Worldwide European Championships. I've just read that off there. Yeah. So, okay. Right. So, so it was 5 weeks ago. Well, today I think it was. And I was there. I filmed it all. And he looked really, really good. And his rear lat spread was. I mean, that looks like a proper season pro, like a good season pro. What did he say he weighed at Alicante? Can you remember? You got notes. You actually wrote notes. Can't believe that. You're making notes on the interviews. That's good. Okay, well, that's conscientious. So, basically, he's turned pro. So him and his lady now both got pro cards. You'd have to frame that, wouldn't you, and put it in the living room next to... Do you think his is above hers? Or hers is above his? Or are they next to each other? Next to. Equal. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. I was going to start talking about double-barreled names there and marrying and stuff, but I couldn't. I'm thinking about something I saw on TV the other day. Right, okay. Yeah, Rob Cannon. Look at the thickness on this guy. He's been working his arse off. His wellness arse off. Go on and watch the interview. I said, go and watch it. If you're watching this, you've watched it already. So, yeah, Rob Cannon. God, when's that? Is that 4 weeks? That's 4 weeks difference. Oh, right. Obviously, that's the show. This is post-show. So, okay, he was 223. Super heavyweight at the NPC European in Alicante, and now he's 246. So yeah, he's chunky. I wouldn't want to train legs with him. Jesus Christ. So yeah, okay then. I think I was supposed to see on Rob. There he is. There he is. Oh, he gave us a shout out. Oh look, there's me talking. Now you're getting me twice in your ears. Of the two athletes. Oh, that's weird. Not like that. Yeah, I'll watch that later. Yeah, that's a nice shot. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so Rob, you're now IFB Pro. Oh, there's Ricardo Correa. I wonder what's happened to Ricardo. He's disappeared. He's training people now. What is going on? Is he competing again though? He's coaching, but I don't think he's... Oh, come on, Ricardo. I mean, here's another one who got screwed over by the old... Yeah, because he turned pro 2013 at the UKPFF British Championships, and they wouldn't give him his pro card. And he was pretty much dieting. He was doing free guest posings. And they were just messing him around because they said he wasn't a UK resident, but he won the overall British. But they allowed him to represent UK at the Arnold Europe. It was really, really bad, actually. And I've really felt for him. And then eventually he gave him his pro card 2018. So it was 5 years he was waiting, like Kamal. Imagine if Kamal had gotten his pro card. Oh, my God. And Ricardo, and then he went and won, 3 pro shows? It was, hang on, what was it? He won Chicago. What was the other two? Well, he won 3 pro shows, and then he went and got like 9th in the Olympia. So, you know, what is the reason for holding these guys? I mean, thank God the split had happened now. And, but then he kind of dropped down a little bit the year after 2019, I think, and he hasn't been seen on stage since. And he's just, I mean, after all that, I just we want to see you back up there, Ricardo. I mean, he's fantastic pro. I mean, he could be top 5. Well, he really is top 5 Olympian material. So, what else? He's crying again. Oh, what an emotional moment for him. And he said this was his first interview after winning. Look at him. That's a face of someone who's just done 26 years of diet. 26 weeks of dieting. He's been competing for 10 years and he's been going for that pro status and he's finally got it.
I'm totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, he's overwhelmed. Right, okay. And there he is with Patrick Tuor's what's his name? I forgot his name now. Francisco Barrios. Yeah, he's was it middleweight? Middleweight, yeah, beautiful physique. And he's going to be, and he did the 212, didn't he, the day after, because we were doing the live stream commentary. And Francisco got a good placing, didn't he? I think he was second. Yeah, he was top 10, but he was like second call out. I'm sure he was. Yeah, but the day before, in the morning, he's an amateur, and there he is, getting good call outs in a good lineup, in a good 212 pro lineup. I mean, but what a weekend it was for those two guys. Look how happy they are. Look at him, he's buzzing. Ah, isn't that funny though? He never gets diet face, and his physique is crazy. He's still got the chubby cheeks. So chubby cheeks. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Francisco, watch out for this guy in a couple of years. We'll have to get him on actually. Yes. Yeah. Oh, there's Paul Knight, good guy. One in the industry, good guys. We appreciate you, Paul. It's true, we do. Yes, underappreciated, I think Paul Knight is. I think that's the word. I think we're looking for. I'm going to go do my stupid jokes again. Right, this is the package that Rob brought. Yeah, look at that, he's a tank. I'm trying to think who I can liken his physique to. I mean, obviously you can see for yourself, but I mean, yeah, he's got a few improvements he needs to make, but I mean, he's got his pro card now, so it's I think he's going to be a good pro. I think he is going to be a good pro. It's his back shots that freak me out. Yeah, that one. Look at that. The thickness, proper dense, thick muscle. And I mean, he's got calves like me. What are you laughing at? Oh, you've seen him. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. So it's that. Where's the lid? Oh, come on, Rob. You can't not put your best pose up as a bloody rear lat spread. My God, man. Come on. Sort it out. Oh, that's all my videos there. Right. Okay. So, yeah, congratulations, Rob. And very excited to see what you are going to be bringing, well, hopefully next year. I can't imagine. I think he's going to go straight into the pros. I don't think he's going to wait around. So, okay, I'm going to go to his lovely lady, Scarlett, ex-ballet dancer, isn't she? Scarlett, yeah, we just had on this episode of Globe Muscle. Unless I accidentally delete the interview like I did the other week with poor old Michael Bryson's, but we got him on again and we made it work. That's a lovely photo. Oh, do you know what? I do like her presentation. You said, didn't you? It's that dance background of hers. Yeah. She's got a beautiful physique, actually. I like it when, and I'm going to find the picture because I think I'm going to find her signature pose. No. I'm going to find it. Where is it? I remember seeing it last year and what?
Up.
Yeah.
There's the right.
Yeah.
Down. Now click a scroll.
That one.
Click on it and scroll.
That one. Oh, bollocks.
Now scroll.
Okay. This was in. Oh, she did Portugal. Of course she did. Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh, look at that. She's got a lovely shape. Hang on. Go back to that one. That's a good figure shape. That's a good foundation upon which to really progress because that's the structure you need. You need the wide shoulders, the V taper. The muscularity levels is, and obviously she's got the dancer's calves because it looks bad if you don't have good calves, which she does. No, it's not on there. So, sparkly. Right, okay. As with Ria, a fellow figure pro. I've got to find that picture because I love this pose that she does. She does it on her. Come on. Oh, where is it? The one with the leg forward. She does. I told her in Alicante. I said, "This is your signature pose." Oh my God, it's not here, is it? Come on. Hang on. No. I'll see it. Oh, no. When else?
No, go up.
What?
Go up. One more.
Oh, yeah, that's it. The one where she does, it's like a dances with a toe. Yeah. Oh, no, it's a video. Yeah, she does it, and I've seen her post it a couple of times. I feel like I'm boring the viewers now because I'm just... Right, okay. Well, basically, it's this pose where she does with her leg forward, and I've seen her post it when she's in condition, and it really... And she shows her calf, her right calf, and it's facing the left. But yeah, you've got to see it. It really just, her whole physique just comes together amazingly. And oh, there she is, a ballet dancer. That's a nice shot. Yeah, that's lovely. What show was that, Lauren?
It could be Portugal.
That's Portugal, isn't it? Wow, look at that. 6 weeks ago. Portugal.
Or Alicante.
Alicante was 5 weeks ago. Portugal was like bloody 10. What are you talking about? No, it was 3 weeks. 3 weeks before Alicante was 8 weeks ago. So, yep, I've used my mathematics and added 5 and 3. So, sorry. Oh, I'm all giddy because all the Arnold Classics and the Olympias are coming. So, give Scarlett Hollands _IFBB Pro a follow. I think you're really going to be seeing a lot more of this lady. Give her another year or two, and I think she's going to be a factor. I really do. Right, okay, the next shout out is my boy, Brandon Curry Monster. Rawr. Ooh, I'm always fiddling with the mic. I've got to stop that. It's a bad habit. Yeah, so I commented on this the other day. I said, commented about his stripy shoulders. There we are. Oh, bollocks. Stripy shoulders coming in real nice, like 10 likes. Come on, guys, give me some more likes than that. That's a brilliant comment. Yeah, but look, I mean, Hadi won't have that, will he? Sorry, I'm going to get all hate from the Hadi fans now. But that's real muscle in it. Look at that. Yeah, there's no crap going in there. So yeah, that's impressive. I love seeing that amount of round, thick fullness. But if you can get the kind of real muscle detail and striations, that's impressive. I mean, I'm really rooting for Brandon for the win, this year.
Yes.
I really think, could he? I think he could win again, I really do. If Ramy and Hadi do not bring it, then I'm telling you, Brandon is gonna really win. Right, okay. There's this shot. What's this? Yeah, it's a cool shot. When my wife is my stylist and I end up missing a shirt. That's a cool shot. It's Charles Lothian shot. I like his photography. I remember when Charles Lothian did a photo shoot for Flex magazine, and it was like a lot of uplighting, and he did one with Tony Freeman, and he really stood out to me as his as a good photographer. Yeah, that's a nice shot. That's a good shot, isn't it? Look at that. He's got such a cool physique, Brandon. Still gets quite a lot of shit and a lot of hate, and I don't understand why, because he's such a great guy. He was a great Olympia champion, and I don't think he's appreciated enough. I think he deserves a lot more respect than maybe he gets from certain factions of the industry. But if he wins another second Sando though, that's going to really cement it. So and like I said, I think his hamstring popped there. Yeah, and there's his fantastic supplement range. And you know what? That looks like a real quality supplement brand as well. I think they've done a really good job. And obviously, they've got the Carbon Culture gyms. Oh, I think it's 17 they got together. Yeah, and she when they first got together, his wife Brandy, she said, you should be a bodybuilder. And he was doing all sort of handstands and headstands and stuff and gymnastic type stuff, I think, on their first date or something. And she said, you should be a bodybuilder. And he was like, really? And look what happened. I mean, what a success story, those two. I mean, those two are couple goals. I mean, they're just and they're really genuine people as well. So, but anyway, let's talk about his physique. Right, that's last year because he's got the shaved head. Yeah, look at that. He really brought the condition last year. I think, I don't know, why is it that people like William Bonac and Brandon Curry, even though William Bonac's going into the Arnold Classic as the favourite, really, if you look at it, he's a current defending champion, 2-time champion, been second Olympia, third in Olympia, top 5 for 5-6 years. And Brandon, they still don't get the, I don't know, it puzzles me.
I have a theory.
What? You have a theory?
It's because, for me, like the Rammies, the Jays, the Rockets, they're more freakier.
Yeah.
Brandon's got this more, pretty physique. Something that Milos was saying.
Yeah, Milos said last week, he said, for aesthetics, Brandon. And I went, because Brandon's so full and round, you forget he's actually a very aesthetic physique.
But I think the freakiness sometimes gets more hype.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather look like Brandon than Ramy.
I know.
I would.
But
I would.
That classic debate of Sean Roden and then...
Yeah. So anyway, I want to give Brandon some love, because we love you, Brandon. And should we do another tour with him?
Yes.
I would love to do another tour with Brandon. What I'd like to do, I'd like to go to different countries.
Oh.
His arms. And it's funny because when we came over, it was in February, and his wife said, oh, he's at that time of year he's going to be downsized. He was huge. I mean, when he trained, he just inflated. I mean, his arms and his shoulder, and he trains hard. Bloody, and he said, oh, I'm only ticking over at the moment. And I watched him train, and it blew my socks off. Right, okay then. So give Brandon Curry some love. And I tell you what, do not underestimate, even though he's bloody hell, he's one of only 16 men to win the Mr. Olympia. Do not underestimate him. 3 times Arnold Classic champ. Well, I see there was a one time really. Because he won the Arnold Australia and Brazil, was it? South America?
He won it.
South Africa.
Oh, no.
But I only really see, when you say you're a 3-time Arnold champ, for me, he's only a 1-time Arnold champ.
You got to count South Africa.
No, the Arnold Classic is the Arnold Classic, and all the others are kind of like, they're like spin-offs. But I don't really, like, if you won every Arnold Classic, you won the Arnold UK, I don't really think you can call yourself an Arnold Classic winner. I think you're a pro show winner, which is huge, and it's incredible, and it's very impressive. But for me, yeah, I mean, but it's number 15, Mr. Olympia. My God, let's just focus on that, shall we? Okay, there's nothing. Okay, next one is this was a guy I was speaking to, Branka Nijevic, on last episode of MD Global Muscle, the lady who's gone from women's physique finally to women's bodybuilding. Finally, is Peter Clancy. This is the Croatia's kind of best bodybuilder. Now, this guy, you probably don't know who this guy is. But I've seen him compete, and I've followed him since probably 2014, 2015. I think it was 2015 I got in my head. But this guy, man, he's part of Mauro Sassi's team. This guy is an absolute monster, and he's very well put together. He's lacking nothing, and to be honest, there's a guy that he hasn't competed for 10 weeks difference. We are working. My God, 10 weeks difference. I'm hoping that's the before. Otherwise, what are you doing, mate? Yeah, look at him. I mean, he's a freak. Look at the thickness. His biceps are as wide as. I mean, look at the width of his biceps there.
Very big.
They're as wide as they are the other way. So anyway, oh shit. Right, okay. So where is he? Where is Peter? I want to see the pictures from the 2017 Arnold Classic. So, this is when he competed in the Nordic Pro. So look at that. I mean, there's a guy, size, symmetry, conditioning, detail. I mean, I've seen him on stage at the 2017 Arnold Europe, and he is Nordic Pro 2016. Yeah, I saw him in 2017 at the Arnold Europe, and he's just, I'm a big fan of his physique, and I'm glad to see he's coming back. So, yeah, keep going, mate. He's had some top 10 placings, but here's a guy that could be top 3. He could be winning pro shows. I think he's absolutely fucking awesome. So, look, he's made me swear. That's how impressed I am. Okay, no, that was, this is EVL. Yeah, 2017. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, look at that. I mean, look at this guy's proportions. This guy's actually got aesthetics as well. So, look at that. I mean, I can't pick a fault on him. I cannot pick a fault on this guy. I think he's underrated. He has to be. I mean, what did he get there? I probably didn't make top 6 in this event. I'm guessing. But yeah, here's a guy. I'd like to see him get over to do some American shows. But I really, really do rate him. I really do. Oh, that's the Arnold. That looks like the 2017 Arnold. Oh, yeah, that's right. I recognise the lighting. I was at that one. That was won by Rami. Big Rami, and William Bonnack was very, very close second. You can see the conditions not quite as tight there though, around there, a bit watery. But yeah, so please come back, Peter. I wonder what show he's doing. I think he's just gone for these shows where the huge names have turned up, and he's kind of just been kind of lost in the shuffle. But yeah, we'll have to maybe get some information. I don't know whether he speaks. If he speaks English, I'll get him on Global Muscle. I'll get him on a future episode. Right, okay, next shout out is Daniel L. from, Bodybuilders Without Borders. I've completely forgotten why I brought this up. Why did I bring this one up? There was a reason. If I scroll down, it will trigger me. Right, okay. No, that's not so. Oh, yeah, that Wesley Vistas, that's a cool shot. He posted that the other day. Look at that. That looks photoshopped, doesn't it? That looks photoshopped, doesn't it? Looks photoshopped. Yeah. Wow. Classic AF. Yeah, what a lovely physique. What a absolutely amazing physique. Yeah, so he's going to the Olympia. Wesley, we had him on 2 episodes ago. So who else? What was the reason I brought this up? I don't think I can remember my reason. Oh, was it Steve Cooklow? Was it? No, I'm sure it is. Maybe. Yes, Steve Cooklow. Yeah, because Michael Bryson from This Is Bodybuilding, another Instagram page, he said that he's seen some level up from Steve Kuclo since he placed second at the Texas Pro, and I think it's really given him a fight. And he thinks he could be in discussions for the win at the Arnold Classic, the big one. I mean, he's 6 foot, 6'1", 280, 285. You know, he's not missing any body parts. His conditioning has really taken a step up every year since 2018. And I think he's still only about 31 or 32 or something. He's early 30s. No. So, I mean, look, could he win the Arnold Classic?
Yes.
Do you think he could?
I think he's...
So he's beaten Rowley. Hang on, he's beaten Rowley, William Bonac, he's beaten Hakeem, he's beaten Valier, he's beaten Nick Walker, he's beaten all the other guys.
I'm going to put him in top 3 with a
top
chance
3.
to be with
Top 3. Well, he's had 2 5th places, but this is a really super tough lineup. So, and the thing is, have we ever really seen a totally dry, shredded Steve Kuclo? I think we've seen him in good condition, but if he can do what he did what I saw at the Arnold Classic in 2018, when he turned around, I was like, finally, he's got that kind of etched in detail from the back. This is what it was. I just remembered. It was the guest posing for William Bonac, because this is my favourite. Willie. Going in from, it doesn't really matter where he did the guest posing. Netherlands, 2 weeks out. So that's smart, because you don't want to be travelling 2 weeks out from the Arnold Classic. That's kind of, I've already studied these pictures. Well, Patrick said he was a bit unimpressed with the gyno, which really shouldn't really be getting as a pro. There's no excuse for that. Okay, let's have a look more. Yeah, he looks good. I mean, thing is with William, he always looks good. He's kind of like the Sean Ray, where I don't think he'll ever really drop out of the top 5 of the Olympia until he kind of retires, or, you know, God forbid something really bad happens, like an injury or something like that, or something starts going drastically wrong or some health issue. I think he'll be one of those guys that'll just hang on to the top 5 for the next 3, 4, 5 years, as long as he wants to. He looks good. Looks fantastic. I mean, I'm a huge fan of William Bonac. I mean, he has to win this Arnold Classic. I mean, I tell you, everyone's beatable though. Everyone's beatable. So yeah, I wanted to show that one. So yeah, okay, our next shout out is, saying it again. Terence Ruffin, Rough Diesel, also doing the Arnold Classic. Now, a few weeks ago, I was starting to panic about Terence, I'll be honest. I was panicking about whether he'd be able to get his condition good enough for the Arnold Classic, because like I said, I think it was obviously the stress. I mean, losing John Meadows, that was, that's your coach, that's your friend, you're checking in with him every day, and it can, it can really set you off, take you off track, and the thing is, when you're on prep, you've got to be doing it perfect every single day, and sometimes it's a mind game, so something like that happening, I mean, you could be forgiven for coming off track, but he posted this the other day, and he looks good. I mean, I hope he can bring it in. I just hope he can. I think he'll be bang on for the Olympia. I mean, he was second at the Olympia last year to Chris Bumstead, but fingers crossed he nails it, because I don't want to see Terence slip, because I'm how many weeks out is that? That's, you want to be looking like that 8 weeks out, not 4, But obviously, I've seen some pictures, and he's tightened it up dramatically, which he bloody needed to. But, I mean, what a beautiful physique. Wow. Terence Ruffin, man. I'm a huge fan of Terence. He's such a good kid as well. And he's a kid. He is a kid. And I'm telling you what, thank God we've got people like that flying the flag for the good posers, the good posing in this industry, because... he's one of the sad few really now, really, that's actually putting really decent posing routines together. I mean, thing is, I think he'd have stood out even in the 90s, because his posing is so good. It's so beautifully choreographed. There's so much expression, and so much of his spirit goes into that posing, and it's something quite amazing to experience, actually. I saw him at the Arnold Classic last year, and it was like, it's like hypnotic, That sounds right. Okay, Seung Chul Lee, Bodybuild Chul from Korea, is going to the Arnold Classic. He was 6th place. Was it 6th place in Chicago? Yes, I think it was 6th place in Chicago. 12th place at the Olympia last year. He won the Korea Pro last year, And he's not really posted much physique stuff. Okay, well, there he is with number 14, Sean Roden. There he is. Yeah, Sean Roden. Obviously at the Dragon's Lair 2 in yeah, look at Sean. Huge, isn't he? Yeah. Oh, what's going to happen with Sean Roden now? I mean, it's kind of the elephant in the room, isn't it? We all want to discuss it. I just feel like some dialogue needs to now happen or something. Maybe I wish there was someone I could reach out to try and get a few answers, or because otherwise it's a kind of like look at the floor moment, you know? And I just think we need to start having conversations now about being able to let this guy compete again, because he hasn't competed since 2018 when he won the Olympia. And anyway, back to Seung-Chul Lee. Yeah, I got that right. Yeah, because I think I got his name wrong, and because apparently they can get offended. It's like he's got a lovely physique, isn't he? Yeah, he's got a lovely physique. And I think he's one of these guys.
I think he's underrated.
Yeah, you think he's underrated?
I think he's underrated, and one day he's just gonna shine through.
Yeah. The thing is, he's tall. There's Neil Hill looking over him. Yeah, that's cool. He seems like a nice guy as well. Very, very, very deep voice. Look at that. Yeah. He's a big dude. I mean, look at the shoulders and arms. And he's got a very, very nice shape. I think he needs a little bit more detailed conditioning, and he just needs some more flair from the back. I think he just needs a bit more detail, a bit more development. Maybe we can get some Ronnie Coleman level shit going on from the back. And, what's happened there? Neil Hill. There's my old friend Neil from Wales. Yeah, done very well. So he's doing the Arnold Classic. And really, he's someone that's not being talked about. And at the end of the day, this guy is going to be a treat for the fans, because he's a new face and most people won't have seen him. Unless they saw him at the Olympia last year. But he didn't stand out for the wrong reasons at the Olympia last year. He looked very, very good. What? Yeah, he looked good. Yeah, he's very good. And like you said, I don't know whether he's underrated. I just think he's kind of on an upward trajectory. Can't say this word. Trajectory, whatever. And I think he's just going to I think if he can just keep improving, I think he'd be like a Korean Kevin Navarone. That'd be cool, isn't it? Korean Kevin Navarone. Right, yeah, so 101,000 followers. Wow. Thing is, in their countries, they're like superstars. You know, like Brazil, Korea, some of these other countries. They're literally like they're a huge deal. You know, he's like, it's great to see. Oh, he's actually part of Neil Hill's team now. Oh, that's exciting. Team Y3T. I didn't realize. I thought Neil was just down to look at him because he was training at Flex Lewis's. Okay. Now I think, is he going to make an impact at the Olympia though? The Arnold. Shit, he's chosen the kind of. Well, at the end of the day, if you want to look really good, you're better off doing it at a big show like the Arnold and getting 7th, 8th, 9th, rather than going to some obscure pro show and maybe beating. You're better off being stood next to the Nick Walkers and the Hakims and the Williams and the Valliers, and maybe getting a call out and people saying, do you know what? This guy's on the way up. It's another couple of years, whatever, another year or whatever, a few tweaks here and there, and this guy could really be winning multiple pro shows. So I mean, he's obviously already won a pro show, but we want to see more from this guy, because I think we're clearly I think the best is yet to come. So got Neil in his corner now. He's probably got Flex's support, and he's got a bit of support there at the new mecca of bodybuilding, the Dragon's Lair 2. So I like this guy. I'm really behind this guy. And we had him on Globe Muscle as well. And we had him on because he doesn't speak English, like these other media outlets that shy away from that. We don't, because we're cool. So no, we want to give clues in the name, Globe Muscle, isn't it? You're just nodding. Right, okay, guys. And our next shout out is Nick Walker, the mutant. How old is he now? Is he still only he's only been pro a year. Well, he won the North Americans last year, took 4th at Chicago Pro, and won the New York Pro this year. So, I mean, is there anyone more popular than Nick Walker right now? I think Nick Walker and Ian Valliere, for me, I mean, that's a really good shot. That's a really good shot, because he gets criticised for his waist. And I tell you what, he looks like a superhero, doesn't he? Do you know what I like about him? I like the fact he hasn't just... His arms are just crazy. But I still think he's a work in progress, obviously, because, I mean, he's just started his pro career. I think he needs to get a bit more chest. I think the chest and everything. But he's a work... But I mean, what he's done since turning pro last year. He was second at the NPC USA's in, I think it was 2019 or 2020. Yeah, so 2019, got second there. 2020, won the North Americans, 4 weeks later. Is it 4 weeks? Yeah. Fourth at the Chicago, and then he's won the New York Pro. So he's won really one of the biggest pro shows in the world. He's so determined, this guy. He's got those psycho eyes. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Yeah, so here's a guy that, I don't think he's going to win the Olympia this year, but it's 10 out of 10 for confidence, but to say you are. But what's that? That's what's that? Is that New York Pro? I can't see. Because he doesn't look that shredded there, does he? He doesn't look as detailed as he does now. So, yeah, there's not very much. Let's have a look at one of the videos. Come on, let's have a look. Is it going to be one of those? Look at his legs. Raw Hulk. I can turn the volume off on that now. Oh, he's counting his reps. 4. Oh. Do you count your reps? Yeah. You do count your... I do as well. I do. Yeah. Look, he's got that crazy kind of freaky, veiny, kind of thick, gnarly kind of muscle, isn't he? It's kind of... I bet it's quite a sight to see. Like if you saw him training in a vest or something in the gym, I bet you'd be like, whoa. But here's the guy for the future, man. I'll tell you what. I'm really interested to see him going up against Nick Walker. Am I talking about Nick Walker? So I'm getting tired now. Done like 50 interviews today. Give me a break. Hunter Labrada. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for, because I see them as I think they're completely neck and neck. And I think ranking wise, if you really lay it out on paper, and a kind of where I see them in their stage of their careers, I think they're very evenly matched. So it'll be interesting to see who beats who at the... Jesus Christ. Whoa. Look at that. God, you could scare kids with those. Couldn't you? Jesus. Look at that vein there. Hang on, look at that one there. I tell you what, I bet he's nervous when he shaves his legs. Seriously. Because imagine if you nicked one of those veins. Jesus. Oh my... Sorry. I keep blaspheming. Sorry. A few religious viewers. Sorry about that. That's really like... you've got to be careful. I've had veins on my legs and but nothing like that. that's... Do you think he exfoliates? No. What's it called?
He waxes.
Not waxes. What's the one? What's not exfoliates? That's cleaning the skin. What's the one where you rip the...
Wax.
No, not wax. The one where the stuff, the cream.
Hair removal cream.
Well, is there a word for it? I had exfoliate, but that's the skin. Hair away. Well, yeah, something like that. Do you think he uses that?
Maybe.
Do you think? Jeez. Tell you what, I'd be very, very nervous. If I shaved my legs, I had legs like that, veins like that. So anyway, and you know what? Not one of those is bought, because those are real followers. 579,000. Who do you think's more popular, Nick Walker or Chris Bumstead?
Oh, Chris Bumstead.
Well, yeah, I suppose he's got 3.4 million followers. Yeah, even if 2 million were bought, which they're not, you know that. Yeah, Chris. Chris is like a god now, and he's not even. You can't even call him a. Do you know what somebody said about celebrity the other day? I'm not saying Chris is a celebrity. I'm saying he's not a celebrity. They said celebrity is achievement without merit. Without achievement without merit. No, I've got it wrong. What was it? I can't. What did he say? It was on a podcast. Anyway, I'm digressing. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So, but like Chris Bumstead is like, what I'm trying to say. It's like another level of, like, he's almost like a god, a bodybuilding god.
He's a demigod.
Demigod. We'll go with demigod. And Nick Walker, what's he?
He's getting there.
He's getting there. Okay, maybe give you another couple of months, and maybe you'll be, God, look at that, crazy. He does a lot of these curls as well. He does these a lot. These ones. He does these with these big fat grips. Oh, is that because it takes the forearm out? Fat grip.
It's just isolated, so it works.
Yeah. But tell you what, though, it's good form and nice strict form I like to see, because you want to see these young guys, they like to throw around the heavyweights. Oh, do you see Larry Wheels tore his quad? No. He was squatting something, £1 million or something, and he's actually tore his quad, I think. I couldn't watch the video because I didn't want to see the bit where it tears, like with Ryan Crowley when he ripped his pec. I can't, honestly, that's going to haunt me forever, that. I've seen that Ryan's doing dumb shit again in the gym. I just think, guys, come on, I suppose you got to keep sponsors up. I wouldn't do it personally, especially if I'd done it once. I would be a little bit more careful. Right, okay, next shout out is... I've done it again. Next shout out. It's not a shout out, it's hot news. Ian Valier. I've completely forgot why I brought Ian up. I think I just wanted to show a couple of these. Yeah, I think he's going to be better, isn't he? I think he's going to be better than he was at Texas, better than he was at Tampa. I genuinely think he thinks that he can win the Arnold. And I think other people, not just people like Patrick, I think other people think that he possibly could as well. I think he's really going for the Arnold Classic for the win. Now, I know it sounds like a funny thing to say because obviously everyone who's doing that is going for the win. But I think now with those 2 wins behind him, Texas and Tampa, I genuinely think that he believes he has a real chance of winning this. And you know what? I think he does. Oh God, could he win it? Is he going to beat Kuklo? Oh, he's beat Kuklo before. Is he going to beat Bonac? Rulli, yeah, he's probably going to beat Rulli. I think if he wins this or he, makes top 3, I think it's really going to cement the step up he's taken this year. Because, yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm most excited to see Ian and how he compares against the Bonacs, the Rowleys, the Akims, the Kuklos and stuff. Really everyone at their A game, everyone at their best. I think it's going to be interesting. Could he win it? That's a good shot. Texas Pro. Look at that. He's skinned alive there. Look at the detail. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah. I remember when I saw him at the Olympia 2018, I was baffled because he took 14th place. And then 2019 was a disastrous year for him. 2020 ended up winning the New York Pro. 7th at Olympia, which I think today is his best. If he can bring the Olympia condition and color and everything with the new size, because he said he's about 10 pounds heavy this year, with some new size, yeah, he could be in conversation for the win for the Arnold Classic. Yeah, I do think so. Going for 30 grit sandpaper look, 10 days out, and at my he's 10 days out. He's not even dropped his water or anything. Look at that. What a freak. Right, okay. Oh, I better go get moving because time is ticking on. So, also, Melissa there. Also, yeah, his lovely wife, Chris Bumstead's sister. Look at her shoulders. Is that a new one? That's new, isn't it? Wow. Look at those stripy shoulders. She's got Brandon Curry stripy shoulders. That's impressive. Yeah. Cool. We're also, Melissa, we're all behind you. Well, I certainly am. So I'll just leave it at that. Right, yeah, we love you. Yeah, we do. Okay, I could make a song out of that. Yeah, we love you. Okay, James Hollinshead, who is currently in Dubai. He's in Dubai. Yeah, because he posted some... There you go. Look, there you go. Yeah, that is not Essex. You don't get buildings like that in Essex. Keep drinking his espresso. Yeah, I think was it Patrick that said today? He thinks that... was it or Michael that said they think he's going to shock at the Olympia? He's going to be, people aren't really considering him to be a force at the Mr. Olympia, his first ever Mr. Olympia. He's got 2 pro wins now. He won Alicante, the NPC European last year, and he won the British Grand Prix last year. And he's kind of hasn't been seen since because obviously he qualified early by winning the post-Olympia Alicante show, which qualified him for this year. So he hasn't competed since. He was... he's just been working, literally from the day he won Alicante, he was prepping for the Olympia, from that day, literally, because obviously when you got qualification, only 3 years after turning pro, he's just absolutely gone for it. So, yeah, as you can see, Dennis Wolf skin color. Yeah, look at that. Grainy. He's very thick. And he's bit. And the thing is, he's tall, isn't he? He's like 5'11", 6 foot. He's as tall as me. No, he's not quite as tall as me. So you think you need some tan, don't you? It's just, I don't think he's going for the pretty boy look. I don't think he's going for a pretty physique look, but yeah, to me, I see him like a British Branch Warren. I do. Yeah. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Oh, shit. Right, okay, yeah. Look, I'm always impressed by the size of his shoulders when he hits his riddle bicep. I can't really see it that much in that. It's not really that. Like when you see on the live stream or in the video you see, you realise just how big. What is it with British guys and shoulders? Jamie the Giant, James Hollinshead. Yeah, he's very complete, very complete. Are the lower lats better? That's what he needed to bring up last year. Well, we'll see when he steps on stage at the Mr. Olympia. So very exciting year for British bodybuilding, with all the amazing British pros we have. That's pretty much enough. Right, okay, and our final hot news is, obviously, I just want to give a little shout out to Michael Bryson, who we had on this episode of MD Glow Muscle, giving his Arnold predictions. And it is, this is the guy who, he was he's been 8 years, he's had this Instagram account, and he's constantly promoting, and he doesn't just post pictures, he puts, a lot of text, and he's got a lot of knowledge, this guy. This is what I wanted to bring up last week. Look at this. You zoom right in. Okay, we're talking about stripy shoulders again. And do you know what? The detail is incredible, and I like the little veins going over it. And look how tight the skin is. I remember my first show, and I remember that was the last couple of days, and this bit with the brachialis and the muscle, it just, and also that muscle tie-in, my skin went, I swear it was like that. It went so tight and shrink wrapped. That's when I knew I was in condition. Tell you what though, if Andrea Shaw, the current Miss Olympia, is looking like that, how many weeks? 4 or 5 weeks out from the Olympia? I don't think anyone's going to beat her. I don't think Margie's going to beat her. I'm sorry. I think she's too good right now, and I think she's ahead of the curve. Yeah. I don't know anyone could beat Iris Kyle's record of 10 Olympia wins, but I tell you what, because I think she's still quite relatively young. I think she's only around like 30. But, and thing is with female bodybuilders, they seem to get better as they get older. Hella's 42? 42. So, look at that. She's got no signs of slowing down there, is she? She's getting better. So, but I'm a huge fan of Andrea Shaw. I love her physique. I love the look she's bringing. I love the fact that she's kind of bringing that look to the comeback that is. Look, she's so feminine and just really nice. She's a little bit Linda Murray there as well. Yeah, Linda Murray with better calves. Yeah, but I don't think anyone's been at the Olympia. I really don't. Who's this guy? I don't recognize this guy. Who's that? Dorian Yates. Those famous pictures. I've spoke to Kevin Horton about those pictures, and he said he hates them because obviously it's Dorian Yates, but because he loves Dorian. But he said Dorian said, right, let's do the pictures now, and he said he only had time to set up one light. He said technically, I'd have liked to set up more lights, but the fact he only had that one light, it actually creates these shadows, which kind of ties in nicely with the whole nickname, The Shadow, doesn't it? And obviously the black and white and the kind of the blood and guts kind of, look at that gym, all the smelly old gym equipment, the rusty old squeaky equipment, but it was functional, and it's what helped build Dorian Yates' physique. Come on, what a legend. Do you think we'll ever see bigger legends than Ronnie or Dorian or Arnold?
So many pro cards.
Do you think so? Yeah, so many pro cards, who knows? Oh, is that dig? Was that? Oh, it was a dig. Okay, so you're not even hiding. Okay, good. Right, okay. So anything? Oh yeah, here we have George Jabal. Hopefully we're going to try and get him on next week, because he's actually supposed to be in this episode, and we started doing the interview, but the connection was bad. We just had to abort. And what else? Instagram. Oh yeah, because Michael set up a second Instagram account because he said the what's it called, the where it doesn't get seen. Think about it. Where Instagram, they're not seeing, hang on. Oh, limiting my reach. IG's at it again. So follow this. So he's got set up a second bodybuilding page. This is bodybuilding_2. Okay, we'll check that one out as well. But here's the main page. And also he's doing his own podcast now as Michael. So I want to give that, because, he's doing good work, and I just want to acknowledge that. Come on. Oh, here we are. Yeah. So yeah, keep going, mate. You're doing a great job. 9/11 there. Yeah. So yeah, anything else? No, that's pretty much it. Right, I think we've been going long enough. Right, okay then, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Lauren, thank you for producing yet again. And we will be back next week. Also, check out, I believe, tomorrow on MD. By the time you see this, tomorrow, the mine, Ron, and Lauren's Arnold Classic preview will be out. I think it usually goes out on a Thursday night, so check that out. And so very excited for the Arnold Classic. What will it bring? Well, we shall see. We have the Arnold Classic, the Arnold UK, and the Olympia. And then obviously we have the Rome show, we have the Alicante, we have Romania. So it's going to, we have Prague. So we're going to be, us bodybuilding fans are going to be spoiled for the next couple of months. So, something's gone off there. Right, okay. Sorry, something happened there. Anyway, right, I got distracted again. Right, okay then, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And ladies and gentlemen, we are out.